That could have been a little smoother, but hello, everybody. Welcome. Boy, have we got an Enterprise episode for you today. We have intrigue. We have medical mysteries. We have questions on the final frontier about spouse swapping. Dr. Phlox's wife comes aboard the ship with surreptitious plans to get with Trip Tucker. Florida man, in out of his depth, tries to turn down a sexual relationship with a denobulant woman. At the same time, T'Pol, with her brain andoring disease that she got from andering around, just andering around with people, has come and become a huge problem here as Dr. Phlox goes down to the surface of the planet to talk to the Vulcans about all this stuff that's going on. It's a fantastic episode, and we got it right here for you. Oh, guys, is this not fantastic?
Admiral, sir.
Yes?
It's not, sir.
What do you mean? What do you mean it's not?
Well,
sir?
the crew, we've
Admiral.
we've been talking, and JT Kirk, I think, can express what I was going to say there better than I can. JT. Tell the Admiral. Don't back out on me, JT.
Have we not suffered enough this week? You made us watch Thunderbolts, for Christ's sake. Now this.
Are you wait what? But all right, ladies and gentlemen, my friends have come to me and they have said to me, Admiral, sir, Stigma sucks. Let's watch the next episode which is a fantastic episode of Star Trek Enterprise starring our good buddy Shran, and it is called, it's got Savol in it too. It's some fantastic stuff. Well, at least they mention him, but it's some fantastic
look at
stuff.
JT got chicken and he ran off. He didn't want to be part of the mutiny. He didn't want to be part of the mutiny.
When he started I know he was having some audio problems. I stunned him briefly.
Admiral, there we go, sir. Sir,
yes.
I was trying to reach you. I think there was some.
Where are you on this outrageous request that I change my mind?
Well, Admiral, sir, when they made this episode, sir, Admiral, they did not send their best.
No,
there's deviants. People doing the wrong thing. Very sad. Very sad.
This is why we need a wall in the neutral zone.
We're good people, but it's very sad overall. Terrible.
Well,
so Admiral, sir, I say fight the networks and pick your own episode, Admiral. Sir.
And Admiral,
I have
to be. We have to be. Again. Yeah, we have to be upfront. We did send a dispatch to Starfleet Command voicing our concerns, and we actually did get a response.
You mean the Unselect Committee on Star Trek? You wrote to them?
Yeah, well, we did send the subspace communique, and we did get a response back from Admiral Know-It-All, and he said it's up to us. That we have the ability to override your order in this case, if needed. We'd rather not, sir. We'd rather not have to do that.
It's my ship, and if I can't watch what I want, I'll blow it up.
JT, what do we do?
Admiral, sir.
Hello, everyone.
Do what you need to make this great again. Just make the fleet great again.
Computer, security code T1A. Now, you know what? We have an episode that was next in chronological order. And the bottom line is, on a day where we're celebrating 19 new members joining over the Thunderbolts, the last thing we're going to do is get bogged down in this Stigma episode. Here's the deal. We're going to give you our grade on Stigma right now, and then we're going to move on. Stigma to make it a long story short, is about a medical conference where Dr. Phlox and everybody are going to get together and have this big, great interspecies medical confab. And it doesn't go, things go a little bit too far in a few places. And what we end up having is Mrs. Phlox wants to get with Florida Man. Florida Man, he's just like not into it for some reason. It's like the first time ever. I guess he's been out of the heat long enough to recover some dignity. He's weirded out by the whole thing. Phlox is just like, oh, you should allow my wife to plate you. You would be quite pleased, and you should probably videotape it,
through
Mr.
the
Flip.
warp core. So are the star dates of our lives.
Yes, the episode is a little soap opera-ish. And on the other side of the soap opera are beautiful to Paul, not to be male gazed, but of note, the red sash under her boobs is a little darker. It's getting closer to gray. It's getting closer to gray. It's a beautiful reddish gray this week. It's moving its way towards gray. And she looks more like a human being. The uncanniness is more and more gone. They ditched any kind of wigs. It seems to be her real hair and hair color. The Tamir episode was a sign of things to come. And now we're doing, quite honestly, not the worst episodes, but Stigma's not so great. But, I mean, could it have been earlier in the season and been a bit more effective? Because at least we see the crew interacting with each other rather than it being about one pretty girl. For the first time in a while, we're not going to deal with just a pretty girl. Now, like last week, we had a crew-oriented episode, and we're going to keep like sort of hammering that home for a little while till we do a couple of Archer-centric ones in a little bit. But for Stigma, I guess the only two key themes are like T'Pol has like Vulcan Andor disease where she got Andored in the mind, and now she has mind Andor HPV. And the Vulcans are pissed about this, and there is no real B plot because the B plot is Trip doesn't want to have sex with Dr. Phlox's wife, but Dr. Phlox absolutely can't wait to see it. It's like think Kamala and her husband here, folks. We're talking like weird stuff. All right, I don't know what they're into, but like the thing, Dr. Phlox far more likable, far more enjoyable. John Billingsley does a great job, but these aliens are like, this is not a way that I wanted to be like down with the aliens. Like Trip has had sex with far too many aliens already. The bath salts incidents, the other things. If I had to write up if I had to do Mr. Trip's efficiency report, I'd be like, all the times he's down with social diseases after every shore leave have really cut into the ship's efficiency. He needs to tie it in a fisherman's knot. He is the biggest sailor out of all of them, to be honest. But
well, yeah, and
there's no A plot. Which one's the A plot?
If Starfleet for real, he would have been relieved of his post by now for failure of confidence to lead, which is
Archer
just the generic
or
thing
Trip
that the Navy always says when there's some domestic thing going on.
Trip or Archer?
Trip.
Yeah. He's getting laid left and right. I mean, soon when he starts having a more committed relationship with his shipmate, it's actually less of a problem because there's less of a chance to compromise him, and there's no way to say that T'Pol's going to bring the worst out in him because she's already they've already together destroyed that detention center where they killed thousands of Suliban. I mean, my God, that's got to be going down in the lore of the Suliban diaspora, the attack by Trip Tucker and the Colonel Green. So the massacre at the detention center. When the ice guys went a bit too far in a few places. So I'm going to just go out on a limb here. We're not going to have to watch it, so it's probably going to get a little bit better treatment than we had to. But like, this one's a C. It's a C. Stigma's a C. Yeah.
You are a benevolent leader, Admiral. Don't let anyone ever tell you you're not.
It's a rough
and your
C.
score reflects that.
Yeah. It's a rough C. Go ahead, Sean. You're next. What do you think? Thoughts and score.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said it all. I'm giving this actually a C minus. It's flirting with a D to me. I mean, there's nothing it does really wrong. It's just the whole. I don't buy T'Pol's stubbornness in this thing. She should be. She's been outspoken to the high command before, and now she's just keeping her mouth shut, and it's just she's acting too human in this, way too human.
We could have a good discussion about whether there's overbleed from hanging out with them and like sort of a human Vulcan exchange going on. That would be the worthiest part about this episode, I think. And really, again, what's the A plot, Sean?
Yeah, that's the thing. There isn't one. These are two B plots that combine for a C- show. It just didn't do anything outstanding. We didn't learn. It doesn't advance Starfleet. It doesn't advance the crew. Nobody learns anything. It's keeping this little disease that T'Pol has hanging over our heads for, later plot complications. That's really why they were doing this. Because they get to touch on substance usage and stuff later on. And, it's just not an interesting one, and I'm glad we're moving on to Ceasefire because we get Shran.
We are going to get Shran. What I love about it is, like you said, it doesn't do anything very well. It doesn't do anything very poorly. It's just that it's like, it's slow, it's boring, and it's two B plots that weren't good enough for like I don't know if they're like, these are A plot ideas and we just have to put them both together because we could say it too quickly. Or they were just like, these two B plots are so strong that they're almost A plots. We have to put them together into one megasode. It'll be so great. I don't know what they're thinking, or they were just like, this is a very inexpensive episode. We could have people talk about stuff, and like we can make a metaphor to being gay and to don't ask, don't tell. Seemed to be to me.
Yeah, there's a lot of metaphors in this, and in some episodes to come, and so C- because
too well, right? Because don't ask, don't tell's like at the top of the headlines at this point, but we don't. It's resolved for so long,
right? It covers. There's a lot of things it's talking about with this play. You could say don't ask, don't tell. There's other things as well, but it's a C- is a passing grade. It's just, hey, you phoned it in, so I'm going to give you the phone-in grade. You barely wanted to get classes. A passing grade, so yeah, it's like if this was a student, it's like you barely made an effort to show up, so you're going to get the very minimal grade to pass.
All right, that brings us over to Resolute.
I think you're both being very generous. I give it a D+. We get nothing furthered for the story. The whole thing with the doctor's wife was just weird. Didn't really want to know that much about the Nobulans.
Yeah, she was kind of sexy,
attractive enough.
She was sexy.
She's almost there. Some uncanny valley of B'Elanna.
Yeah. Oh, and I would like to thank Radioactive for helping sponsor our mutiny.
Oh yeah. There's a super chat.
We have two super chats already. I'm so terrible about this one. I want to thank Tommy Green, our new member.
Hey, Tommy.
Thank you for joining us, Tommy. You will be well treated. And Cool Avatar, thank you so much for joining the family. And we have a super chat from RRTNZ, who was there earlier today when I was doing Red Dwarf. I sense a mutiny viewing aboard the USS Constellation A. That was a bit of a mutiny. They were ready to have the medical officer relieve me. That's why I had the medical officer put in the brig.
What's funny is Mutiny is the name of a tiki bar in Mexican town, Detroit.
Oh.
So whenever you say mutiny,
What
I'm
does
like,
mutiny mean in Spanish?
I don't know.
It is funny you ask. In our language, mutiny means everyone gets along and works as a team. It's funny. It's ridiculous. But absolutely, thank you, Radioactive, and to our new member, to our comedy routine sort of got in the way. But to Tommy Green, thank you very much. You have taken your first step into a larger world. Thank you for supporting the channel, and thank you for taking it upon yourself to join my community. Yes, you are. It's all of you who enable me to do the uploads, the Yellowstone stuff, that sends me to go see these Marvel movies the day they come out so you can potentially save some money. So I really, really appreciate you joining my community, you and everyone who has. So thank you all, and thanks you to all my community members. You make a real difference. It's great to have a working cell phone at the end of the month. It really, really is. But let's see if we can't set the tone for, oh, hey, Krimlon. Thank you to our good friend Quimon with a $1.49 super sticker. Is this a super sticker of some kind of fruit? I need to check.
No, it is a mystical equine, mythical equine animal.
Is it? Is it one of the ones that has the single horn?
It's Pride Weather's steed
Oh.
with a single horn. Yes.
Jeez, what
Oh,
do you
God.
sing for Pride? What do you sing for Pride Weather? Do you sing the Black National Anthem, or which is just like a real head shaker when you hear the term? Like what do you like? Raise every voice and sing
I feel like a Queen
to be
song
real.
is in order. Like don't.
He
stop
was
me now.
our helmsman queen.
Oh no.
His name was Pride Weather. He wore a diamond. I mean, I thank you so much for supporting us early on out in the Star Trek endeavor. We have fully polarized the hall, and we could use your likes to really help us out. Dark Helmet's here. Teague is such a wanker. I don't know what you're talking about, Dark Helmet, but it's good to see you, man. And I hope all is well. Anyway, let's talk about this episode coming up. What have we got here? We have ceasefire. This one involves the Andorians and the Vulcans having sort of a difference of opinion. Let's just say the Vulcans may have gone a bit too far in a few places. Oh, Grimon, thank you.
Admiral, look at this.
Is that Mr. Mayweather on his unicorn?
Yeah, I had Grok.
Why does he have a Glock?
I don't know. I asked him holding a phaser, shirtless, riding a unicorn.
Okay.
It's not the greatest likeness of Mayweather, but it realized he was black. I don't know. Like, it's like, please put Anthony Montgomery on the back of a
I was going
horse.
to say like Terry Crews kind of a look.
It kind of looks a little more like Terry Crews. Oh no, we're all gone.
Oh no!
There we go. We're back. Come on, thank you. And RRTNZ, $5. Thank you so much. I appreciate it very much. It's good to see you, and it's good to see all of you. While we're on the subject of making stuff up, I just want to say, can we bring the temperature down on some of these crazy things that are going back and forth? And to say someone's a lousy husband is not an attack on their wife. That's all I want to say about that. Show me where I said anything bad about this lady. When I've said she deserves better, that's an attack. When I said his poor wife, that's an attack. When I've said he spends his time on the internet attacking and stalking and complaining about me instead of looking for work, he's a terrible husband, that's an attack on his wife. I believe that's called advocating for his wife, who deserves better. Okay, and I stick by that. I didn't say anything bad about her. No assessments were ever made about the woman's looks. No assessments were ever made about anything except that I thought she deserved a better husband. And you know what? Some people charge money for that kind of counseling and intervention. You know what? Richer or poorer doesn't mean I'm going to fucking drag your ass through life while you attack people on the internet all day. So let's bring down the temperature and let's try shutting the fuck up. It's putting a lot of stress on a lot of people to have to deal with it. And really, CRC, I'm going to keep on counterpunching, so drop it already. All right, everybody. Ceasefire. Guys, I watched about 2/3 of this one before we started the show because it's really just started right after the last one. And man, I was unfulfilled after Sigma like you wouldn't believe. Like you wouldn't believe. And I was ready to go for this one. And before we get into ceasefire talk, I'll give you guys this one to consider. I think that what we should do is when we go forward around October, maybe what we really could do is go Enterprise TOS, so that I don't have to make an upload a week. Because with TOS, every show is going to need an upload. And a lot of them might be worthy of like putting in that extra couple of days of editing. I don't know. It's a thought.
Wait, are you saying jump back and forth between series?
It might not be the worst idea because you imagine doing 5 great episodes in a row and where my brain will be after making 5 uploads in 5 weeks. We're talking about making 78 uploads in 78 weeks.
I think we could have a better conversation backstage about it.
Maybe Starfleet Command. I I feel like this is one of those cases where we meet in secret on a lava planet somewhere, and then we go back to Starfleet Command, and we go look on people's necks and see who has a little bug. In
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
guess
then
my
they can
fault-
eat gach and worms.
You know what? I'll put it out there into the channel members so they can mull it over, because ultimately they're the ones on this journey. But yeah, like it's getting kind of the problem here, guys, is this one. Star Trek's next season on Enterprise is one long 9/11 analogy. We're gonna honor it by doing the best stuff from it, but it's one long 9/11 analogy. I don't really need that kind of negativity. I don't want my Star Trek escapism to be a reminder of, like, it was a terrible day. All right, good enough. Believe me on that one. And then yeah, you know what? No New Yorker should have to go through it. And then, you know, everybody at this channel will be ready to hit the ground running for the original series. And if there's a few episodes of Enterprise left over, maybe we could use them strategically, you know? Like when the space shuttle turns around and does the strategic braking so it doesn't burn up in orbit. Like, I don't know. But like you said, we'll figure that one out later. But we are setting sail to the original series, because basically what happens is every Star Trek reviewing show starts out with the strongest two shows, one after another, builds their following, and then leads people through shows that are less well regarded. Out of the other three shows that are not Gene Roddenberry created, not TOS, this is by far the least well regarded, no matter how you slice it. And only the people that we have personally changed the minds of know this. This show was heavily disliked when it came out, and we have a perception thing to overcome, growing the Star Trek side of the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, for
we'll have
sure.
to take a look. Yeah, I've had some thoughts, but I think we'll have to take a look at what's coming, what we haven't seen yet, and we can plan accordingly. But I've got some thoughts about it, but I don't want to bore our chat with.
We do have
with the-
plans for Minos Corvo.
Yes.
Yeah, we've given it a due consideration live. You guys have an idea of what we're thinking and where we're at, and how this may go. But basically,
Chime in, folks. Yeah, chime in how you guys feel,
chime in
too.
a little bit.
Alternatively, we could make you do 5 TOS in a row, and then tell you there are 5 uploads.
The thing is, I could do really good uploads for every episode of TOS if I had the time. And
Oh, no,
then
I'm
yet
just saying, you
it just
thought we
would,
did
it
4
would turn
episodes,
into a
but there's
schizophrenic
5.
journey.
There's 5 uploads.
There are
worth.
5. There are 4
That's where I
episodes.
was going. It did. The
There
joke
are
didn't
still
land.
4
You can
episodes.
send me to the brig if you need, but yeah.
Your agonizer, please.
We can always go the Ferengi approach and sell the episodes we watch.
That's
Ah,
true.
True.
Well, I guess what we could do is a couple of TOSs in a row, and then like spin the wheel, the Dabo wheel, and see which franchise and episode we watch, to give Teague time to catch up on the uploads and not get bogged down in just one series. We could do that too. So, you know, all the other this way it doesn't stay totally chronological. We switch it up a little bit, and by keeping it a best of, maybe people stay engaged. More engaged, because TOS is some heady stuff, but doing that every single week, I mean, first of all, I think we're ready for it. Still would like to practice a little more, but that's when it all pays off, right? We get to TOS and it's like, it's where it all pays off. Training, the drills, this is where it all comes together. Guys, we are going to the land of the original series. And you know what? I think we're going to be very ready as pundits. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
So at any rate, we've yapped for a good 24 minutes. We could start this one early, and we can talk pop culture. Or do we want to talk right now? Sean has yet to see the Thunderbolts movie. I saw it. I guess you haven't seen it, so I guess that next week we'll have our Thunderbolts conversation. But if you want, I'll just give you my notes of the chain of events. You can just have them. This way you can watch the movie. I sat there and mapped out every single chain of event. They're not really related, but like one domino after another. Boy, it's the worst storytelling ever. So convenient. It's Star Trek Discovery, but not Section 31 bad. It's like, this happens,
And
then this just happens to happen.
And then this happens, and then
this. Yep. Yeah. The South Park tautology is complete. You can't tell stories like this, and the stuff happening is just the only reason it makes sense is because the story is so simplistic. But listen, guys, we got a great episode. It's got our pal Jeffrey Coombs. In this episode, he's playing the nefarious Shran. Shran is a he's been getting some sun on Andor. He's a bit bluer than the last time I saw him, if I recall correctly. Looking just a bit bluer. Anyone else think Shran's just a little bit more blue than he was last time?
Oh, I didn't notice.
It seems like they've taken the last time we saw him and the first time we saw him and tried to come up with something that's related to both, but a little bit less. They might have gone a little too far in a few places with the makeup, I think is what they're trying to tell us.
I think they color corrected to be more accurate to the Andorian they had in the original series. Because he was a real dark blue originally. I think they wanted to make him
that
more
Andorian
like that.
was really pale.
Oh, the girl, his lieutenant.
No, the guy's not really an Andorian, but he passes for one. The one that gets killed on Journey to Babel. It's like slow poison.
That one.
Quite painful, actually, but quite irreversible. Not quite painless.
I love the actor that played the real Andorian. My people are a violent race. We have no quarrels with Captain Kirk.
Be great if they were called the Italians, right? Hey, we're a violent race. You come here, you show us no fucking respect.
Planet Gabagool 3.
Their planet is a minivan with a picture of a pizza and a phone number instead of a registration number on the side. And it's like, what's with the number on the side of their ship? It's like, we called it and they offered us to get a pizza here in less than a half an hour. And there's another one of their ships closing in now. It'll be here in less than 20 minutes, sir. Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You know what? I can't wait to this. And there's one thing before we start the episode. I have noticed that Shran, you never see him talking to Mayweather. Because what would he call him? Couldn't call him pigskin.
No, that is a good point.
You never see
him Raisin Man.
My God.
God, could you imagine? I've been reading about your mid-20th century Germany, Pinkskin, and looks at Mayweather for a really long time. It's like, I've heard there are aggressions on both sides of your globe. Looks at Hoshi for a really long time.
Oh, no.
Rainbow skin.
Well, look at Hoshi. Well, lovely Hoshi, please come this way. And you too, Pinkskin. I hadn't thought of that. He can't say it to Hoshi, and he can't say it to Pride Weather.
He wouldn't say, "Oh, yellow skin" or whatever. Like, you get the Guardians would be
what
on
a
board
charming
and he'd say red.
Yeah, right. We need to get some Guardians on board, right? And be like, come with me, Redskin. No, I can't. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Come with me, Guardian skin.
Yeah. They didn't. I'm glad they didn't. Today they would never ever do that. They wouldn't. They wouldn't have Shran say that word. But I love that he does.
I would say calling him Monkey Man would be funnier. You know what I mean? Like that could get him somewhere. Like okay, primate. That would be cool too. But I think we had the Q doing it to Riker and Worf a little too much.
No, there was
Riker.
There was one of the Enterprise ones either that we just watched or one coming up where they like, oh, we heard that your species evolved from apes or something. It was like an insult to humans.
Right.
Was it the one coming up or one that we just watched?
I think they sort of pause and they're like a little bit afraid to even say it. They're like, evolve from apes. But maybe
what episode was that?
You know what's funny about that is
it's in the episode.
It
the
feeds all
said it.
The reptilian. That's Star
Trek.
Right.
That feeds all Star Trek though, because if we're all evolved from like a single like hominid seed, like the episode The Chase tells us, there would be like a lot of ape-like creatures all over. They were really close, like the Mugatu.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
The Mugatu, yeah.
When they killed the endangered Mugatu, I mean, that was like that was prevented them. Took another one out of the gene pool. The Mugatus are just a step away from humans. Do you know that some Mugatus can use sign language as well as a 5-year-old?
Is it named Coco?
The problem is the Mugatu are being hunted to the edge of extinction by the Suliban for the powder in their horns. What? The Suliban have strange customs. We're not here to judge them, you know. I mean, if they want funky sex powder from Mugatu powdered Mugatu horn, what am I to do about it? Also, you know,
Mark Harkness got it. Mark Harkness. Thank you. I just watched that episode. That's what it was.
That be your last battlefield
Yes,
with
that was-
Inspector Beale?
Yeah, he says, "Oh, you were evolved from apes." Like he was
Yes,
real
he
smug
says it
about it.
too. Okay, RTNZ enjoyed Thunderbolts. It's not great, but it's entertaining enough.
Yeah, Chato really liked it. I saw his review. He really enjoyed
Listen,
the
a
movie.
lot of people who know what they're talking about are saying it's good. So I'm sticking by my review. I thought it was a solid D. I thought that it was slow and stupid. I thought that anything that was that insulting to my attention, to my intelligence rather, was sort of a little bit much to give it a good grade. And also, like they say, like this praise, it's the most coherent Marvel film in a long time. They restate things so many times. I am so tired of all characters speaking in the same voice, and it's just there's like two default settings. It's the nervous Tilly verbal exposition type, and Yelena, the leader of the Thunderbirds, who speaks for them. Her communication type is like, this is how the movie functions. Sean, seriously, it's like if she walked up on Iron Man, she's like, "You do not impress me, Mr. Tony Stark. Fuck you. I know of you from New York with your Iron Man suits and your problems with the Ultron experiment. I know of you and your fight with Thanos. You don't impress me. Fuck you." And everyone else was like, "Oh my God, like you're Tony Stark." And everyone knows that like you saved New York from Thanos and the Cathari army. Like everybody's a Tilly. It's the world of the Tillies. Have fun with that one. Once you notice it, you can't unnotice it.
Right.
And the trash compactor scene. That's all I'm gonna say. It was. And in 1920, it was as disappointing as 1923 when we couldn't. When we couldn't get Alex to die soon enough. No, we're not on X tonight, by the way, guys. I made an executive decision on that. And as we can see, we're hanging with a slightly higher number on YouTube than usual. And that's something I've decided, like, you know what? YouTube does bottleneck the content a little bit, and X might be the next wave. And there will be a lot of shows that do go on and out on X, especially the weekly talk show. Like, because why not? But with the Star Trek show, it gets confusing, and it makes for, it's fun to pile 400 and 500 people into the X chat, but then like, they still don't quite really engage, and we still don't totally know what to make of it. So until there are some improved and enhanced X analytics, I'm going to hold off a little bit here and there on X. Especially when we get bot stormed so much on YouTube. So anyway, hey, that makes
Brilliant
34
plan,
minutes.
Admiral, sir.
Thank
Sir,
you. That's-
brilliant plan.
Anyone else want to tell me what a great idea it is? This is a good time.
It's awesome. I'm ready to watch this puppy though.
Yes, I've got it on.
You've
ready to
been
go in the
warned
theater.
in the Cosme chat, by the way, Admiral.
Have I been warned?
You have.
Oh my gosh, yes. Sorry, JT, but we're not going to do it for you or anybody else. You know what? We are not. What's great about this is the Star Trek we're watching is the original Star Trek from 1805, and this was largely put on by settlers on the Oregon Trail to pass the time at night. and it was called Star Trek Doth Enterprise Forth. But you know what? That's not as important as the fact that it has been, brought to us in its public domain form, and we're going to see some of those same pilgrim children captured on ancient Nokia cell phones. So it'll be a little bit grainy and black and white, but please join us for and damn it. I was on today with Northern English Bastard, and I had my British going very well. He was able to understand me most of the time. Forget about it. I'm bilingual now. So with no further hachu, for whatever reason, the time code on this is 5 seconds if you're doing a watch along. If you're watching later, this is the point to jump ahead about 43 minutes and 16 seconds when this episode ends. The oppressive British subtitles are on, and we're starting in 3, 2, 1, and action. Look, it's the Death Star, guys.
Oh, yeah. Wait, why can't I hear it?
Well, it is almost May 4th in our time zone. Makes sense. Do we have the sound enabled?
Yeah, I don't have sound.
You guys don't have sound?
No. And I've got it turned up.
No, I got sound.
You do?
Yeah.
I'll have to reload the room.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, when I turned my sound all the way up in Cosme, it was doubled, so I know it's going out.
I still don't have it. I hope
No, a lot of
everybody
people
else
don't
has
know-
sound.
Everyone else has sound?
I hope.
Oh, wait, maybe it's in my other earphone. That's happened before. No? Nope.
No one's getting sound in Cosme? I'm pausing it for a moment. We're paused at
No, well,
1 minute. and
Buddy
5
Hepburn
seconds.
hears.
What
Mark
say you
Harkness
guys?
has
Mark has
sound.
sound. You guys, why did we skip an episode? We're skipping this episode because that stigma was just, it's a C- or a D, according to some people. And Enterprise in itself has such a bad, it's so hard to sell Enterprise people and get them to want to be part of a Star Trek watch party. For a lot of people, they don't even know this isn't new Trek. It's really, we've convinced a bunch of people, and we're gonna honor it, but we can't do every episode, or it'll just be one
Take
forever
too long.
and two. It's an unfair hampering on my show because everyone else starts out with the strongest show, TOS, and does this one last. And if you guys had all been with us for the end of Voyager, and if Voyager had been watch parties, believe you me, the thrill of not being in the lows of Voyager would still be with us. It's just that this show never touches the highs of TNG, or not much. There's a couple of TNG level episodes, but it doesn't do it much. It never truly bottoms out. All right. So you guys, did you have a chance to restart your Cosme?
I'm trying. Yeah, just go ahead and play. I can read the
just play.
subtitles. It's fine.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I love Mark Harkness's comment. Okay, I got the sound now. I cleared my cache, JT. I just cleared my browsing.
Another browser and just not
I'm
talk.
sorry. This was a decision we made right before the show. There are going to be
I have it now.
a few episodes jumped. We're skipping calamari. Canamar. We're skipping Canamar.
Yeah, Canamar is going to be skipped.
But the crossing, Judgment, and Horizon will be done. And for Horizon only, we will have hello, Miskatonic. For Horizon only, we may introduce a Pride Weather Pride flag emoji, which will then be taken off the channel.
Wait, when is Horizon?
It's in about 3 weeks.
Oh, great! It'll hit right during. No, we got to save it for Pride Month. We if we have to
it'll
go
happen
back
in
to
June.
it. Yeah, we got to save it for June.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll put it out. I'll wait a week for June. Yeah, you're right. Oh, no, actually, 4 weeks? No, it might be the first week of June. We'll see how it falls. We have to shuffle it around. Yeah, Horizon will be done during Pride Month. But in June, we also have Admiral's birthday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah. And what I can also only call, and this one's just for,
Actually, wait. We're skipping
Go on to the
Canamar.
episode.
What about
We're gonna skip
the crossing
Canamar.
we should do? We have to do the crossing.
Mr. Kirk, thoughts on the crossing?
Well, the crossing is at least it gives us some science fiction.
I'm not remembering it off the top of my head, so I just don't
It's the
know.
one where the little wisps take over their bodies.
We've seen that a bunch of times, but if you want to watch it. See, this doesn't bother me as long as we're hitting our stride by the time we start doing TOS episodes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll just say this for the chat. So like if I think what our basis for whether or not we skip an episode is basically if it's just a meh episode that doesn't advance Starfleet, that doesn't advance the characters, like
No
just a
continuing
standard
plot
bottle slow.
implications.
Yeah.
If it repeats something without advancing it, because this one repeats two things without advancing them at all. We do the most boring thing. It's their version of a Walking Dead supply run. We're going to recall to Paul, oh no, we're going to pull a move. I got to keep you a little longer. It was unprincipled, but I did it.
Mm-hmm.
This is now like the fourth time, and this time it's like she has brain and door disease, and they're going to let her, not get treated for it or whatever. Like they're dealing with their doctor, like aggressively looking for treatment for it. And now like the Vulcans are istophobic against her.
Yeah.
And
So
it really wasn't much to it.
So the Andorians decided that they were going to start terraforming this planet. They should just use Genesis.
Yeah. It
Save
literally
a lot of
is
time.
life from lifelessness. The other thing that made me happy to skip it is this. Medical analogy Star Trek episodes have been a real problem.
yeah, and John, yeah, the Phlox's wife part was interesting, a little bit, but it's just
Not
hey,
great
they're
enough.
polyamorous, they're
Here's the thing. We're going to need times during TOS when I'm going to be too far behind in an upload or something, and we probably will double back to do Enterprise, and hopefully people will be indulgent. It's a Star Trek watch party that covers 66 to 05. We're trying to honor the chronological thing. With Enterprise, it was the only place to start, and there's very positive feelings towards Broken Bow in Season 1. There's not positive feelings towards the show after that. Their budget goes down every season. There is great character development for Archer. We'll pick like 5 episodes from the arc to watch. And there are non-Zindi episodes in that season.
yeah, there's some darn good ones in there too.
And I'll probably do a good screamy rant about 9/11 before we have the conversation on the whole thing and get it out of my system. But hey, it's our buddy Shran and Savak.
Ambassador Pointy, you mean?
Yeah,
Oh, Ambassador Pointy.
the actor just passed away.
This
He's
guy,
in
yeah.
so many movies, man. He was in
That's a shame.
Yeah, you know what? This was not an easy character to pull off. I thought that he did a great job of sort of likable non-creep because he starts out as full creep.
Yeah, very smug.
He had to have some skill to slowly ratchet down the character's antagonism level. He really did.
I'll agree. The tall
You know what?
attaché
By the way,
behind Shran looks like he hasn't slept in about a week.
Bad
With that makeup. Did you see that?
Yeah,
lighting too. You know what? I'll just say this. Like if they had screwed up the Saval hire and had a too unlikable Vulcan, the whole show really doesn't work. The things that we say that are positive about it are because so many people did so many great individual performances throughout this show. And even in your bad episodes, like Shockwave sucks, but like Daniel's performance is like that actor's okay. All right, I take it back. Daniels can't act.
He's
He
trying
sucks.
to blame him for the site being discovered, the illegal surveillance site that you had.
Yeah, the Vulcans have like they've sworn off that what they're doing was illegal and kind of immoral twice, and now they want to buy it back. That keeps happening.
Right. It's like F you. That's not going to happen. Oh, jeez.
Germ.
I don't like the inferiority complex Archer thing.
Yeah. Germ, I'm sorry I made you watch Thunderbolts.
It's okay. I'm able to drown myself in certain beverages.
You made me watch that crazy cartoon. Earthworm Jim is fucked up.
Yeah, that is a little bit of revenge too.
Like, did the Denobulans have to go and do this whole exploration, prove ourselves thing? No.
Look out,
The
they just
Vulcans
launched their
didn't
primary
have to do
fighter
it.
craft.
Yeah.
The General Lee has been launched, ladies and gentlemen. Is that to Paul? Is she acting as co-pilot or as Ewok? Like Advanced Warfare Operations Control.
I like the acronym.
I think it's electronic warfare. You know, when I call to Paul Pointy, I'm not really talking about her ears.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like my ears are up here.
Why is she out of focus, and why is her beautiful body kind of cut out of the frame?
Because they only did one shot and it was out of focus, and they said, fuck it. It works.
This is not a high quality. This is not a well filmed episode so far.
He's like, you gave me Villar's book, but did you read the book I gave you? The Art of the Deal. Now that would have been fucking hilarious.
I remember reading that when it came out. It was a little bit. It went a bit far in a few places.
Yes.
It's better than the Vulcan edition of the Kama Sutra.
Well,
I don't know about that. If it was illustrated with Jolene Blaylock, although when I was reading it, well, no, Jolene and I are the same age. We're safe.
If you're only going to go every 7 years, forgive me for being immodest.
That's the one
You're
want.
going to last for about 5 seconds. Right.
I think I would prefer. That's why a lot of those Vulcans go out and get the Kolonars. What I'm convinced of.
Yeah.
It's like, you have the Kolonar? That's right. I can last almost 1 minute before ejaculation. I have purged myself of all emotion.
I did not like
she
this
looks
lady.
weird and Farscapey. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like her, and she looks like a refugee from Farscape.
I mean, she's
You know
a
what?
good
They didn't
actress
work-
because I don't like I don't like her. Is what
I
I
just
mean.
don't think we've
She
worked
does
out
look very
female
Farscape.
Andorians too well either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so like when I say like,
That's-
oh, I don't like it's like the actor sells the villain.
Oh, I think she's doing a good villainess, and I agree
yeah.
with you on why you don't like her, but I'm saying I don't like the visualization so great. I think they kind of messed up the Andorian female. She should have been capable of being more attractive.
They're like, what the fuck are you on about? Yeah.
Right? Like, we have to devise a scene without Hoshi or Mayweather.
The makeup artist is like, so I need to make your boobs blue. How do you want to handle this? I do love that they spent a good amount of time and thought about how they're going to make the Andorians appear more lifelike, and the what do you call them? Not the tendrils, but the
antennae.
Antennae. Thank you. Are more alive looking.
Yeah.
And,
stylistically
appreciate it,
designed to
'cause,
be
you
that
know-
way, and you can't undo that. But we can diminish the effects of it.
but the whole thing about it is like that is something that most aliens in any TV show don't have. Is like a moving appendage on their body. That's not a puppet, right? That's an actual actor in makeup. They don't have extra things moving on them.
He had a mechanical arm.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah. So
Yeah, but
I
you're right,
still-
and
we've
I
seen
like the way that
before, but I still
usually-
like it.
And usually the Andorians' antennae in the show reflect their mood. Like
Yes.
they're, they did
Dog
pay,
ears almost.
yeah, they paid really good attention to that. Like when they're angry, they go back, and it's pretty cool.
I came home, there was a man in my house.
Oh, what can you say? Sometimes you just have to let Harrison Ford do the talking. Star Trek show with the Harrison Ford. The Star Trek show with the Harrison Ford sound bites.
I don't care.
Mr. Ford, the craft service table is for cast and crew only. Where are you going with that lettuce? Callista needs dinner.
Dare you
He's stealing Callista's
saying
dinner.
that I crushed her skull and that I shot her?
You
Find
know,
this
maybe
man.
the best way that they should have agreed is both of them will leave the planet and then they'll just nuke the hell out of it. So it's like it just totally wrecked.
I
For
would have
100
liked
years.
to see the visualization of that solution that would have made them like new Trek evil, though.
They'll call it like Tora Bora 3 or something. Let the humans name it. That's a reference to Teague wanting to nuke Afghanistan, by the way, folks. Back in
I
2001.
didn't want to. I did think that. I did think that because there were so few people in the area where that they say they knew he was, that launching 30 or 40 nuclear missiles would have been perfectly fine. Because then, if he wanted to leave, it would have been a nuclear wasteland, and a lot less people would have been lost than we lost in the intentional attack on the towers. And there's a thing called dropping leaflets and telling people to leave. And we would have given people, like, say, 25 minutes to get out of there. I think that's probably more than they gave us. I think it would have been fine. It would have been fine. And 150 years or so from now, people could go there and tell whether or not they thought it was honorable. But I think that would have been proportionate for what he did. Fuck those guys.
Right.
And I do not approve of the Taliban or care about what happens to them. Also hate communism. Hey. Seen it break a few people.
Yeah, okay, they're escalating. Yeah, they're bringing in more ships. They're like, these Vulcans pearl clutch a little too much for my take.
No, the Vulcans have slightly better ships than even even these guys, right?
I thought Andorians had better weapons, but the Vulcans had better shields. It was some kind of trade-off like that, where they were fairly evenly matched. Like the Andorian ships were a little bit weaker, but they could, have more of them.
So what's the deal? The Vulcans are always the top of the tech tree and everything, or are we the ones that come in and wear the straw that stirs the drink and gets us to warp 9?
They're at the top of the tech tree right now, but it's made kind of like hinted at and kind of said in some one-liners and things that the humans caught up super quickly because we kind of had we kind of saw what other people had, which is almost like a cheat sheet, right?
See,
But
here's what I'm saying. My
had
friend
done our-
Watu owns a scrapyard, and I have a choice between a Vulcan scout ship and an equally outfitted Andorian scout ship from the same period of time. Which one would you buy?
The Vulcan one, better sensors.
Yeah.
But the thing is, humans are innovating and catching up much faster than the Vulcans developed all of their technology. So it's like they can see them in the rearview mirror, but the Vulcans are driving at 30 of your respective units of speed, and the humans are coming in at 45. Right? They're a ways back, but they're catching up quickly. And by the time you get to TOS, they've become the Federation, but they would have.
Isn't it because we just go everywhere and start appropriating ideas too?
No, I think
because we're
because
so
humanity
curious.
is supposed to be more curious. The Vulcans are kind of stubborn. They're almost too patient. Humans are so impatient.
We'll lose 3 ships to alien races and intelligences before we find the supercomputer we can control and get like, hey, now we have a holodeck.
Right. Right.
By the way, there was a big plot mistake, right? What we just passed over. There's Saval was talking to Archer, and he goes, "I didn't ask for your help, Captain, nor do I feel obliged to accept it." And then in the beginning of the episode, you see Saval says, "Yes, I'm asking for your help."
Oh, okay.
He contradicted himself pretty big.
That's too bad they missed
What a
that
dickhead.
sloppy mistake in there. That's new Trek level dumb, and
Yeah.
we have it really is, and that's unfortunate. And I think what we're seeing here is a franchise under stress, doing things like no final script polish, a lot of single character episodes. Maybe they're trying to hide the lack of money by doing a lot of single character episodes.
Maybe.
If we look at what they're doing through the veil of they got a 25% budget cut, maybe it makes more sense.
Maybe. They fired their script
Right.
supervisor.
We kind of have to ask ourselves it now before every episode, considering this is 25% less money than they had.
This is a
everyone
bad
get-
shot.
You think
Yeah.
so?
That was clear model work. They didn't have a CGI budget there.
You know, at least they got a model guy working.
Yeah.
And he got him cheap too. They're like, we got a computer. We might just get it done in time. We got a kid right now loading floppy disks. You can either be in on this or you can be out, man. Just want to make one more
what
model of
makes
my
me curious
masterpiece.
is I want to know where that model is and why don't I have it?
Right.
Somewhere in that guy's basement, he's like, this was my masterpiece. My final Star Trek model. Saval is giving off pedo priest vibes in this episode. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's like, why should I not be in charge of the church now that Francis is dead?
You
That
also
was a
have to
little
think-
bit robotic by Saval right there, but I guess he has to be emotionless.
Yeah, and he was preparing and meditating and all that. But
in
you know, I
Hail
just
to,
looked up
the
at
Westerly
Greg Jean
Hail.
worked on Star Trek Enterprise, and Gary Ambrosia has been picking up a lot of stuff from his storage.
Oh, great.
So I'm wondering. I'm wondering.
Oh,
if,
when you say where's that model?
yeah, I'm wondering if it's available.
Ah.
It might be in because there, like 2 or 3 people are just selling all of that stuff, and it was tons of things.
Coming
all
soon
kinds
to
of
whatever
shits.
town Sean lives in is going to be the Star Trek sci-fi the sci-fi model museum. I see it down the road.
I
Like,
wish.
stop here and see the world's largest ball of string and sci-fi museum.
I want to go to
Dad, you're
Universal
crazy.
in
Just
LA
keep
because they've
rolling
got the
that ball of
experience
string.
there. They
I
have the
wanna
Star Trek
go there.
experience in LA now.
Yeah, now that they have it, I want to go. But what if it's Spork and Pike, and when we go there, it's like, "Hi, I'm Michael Burnham."
I think
Oh,
is
hell
it not
no.
the same ride and stuff that they had from the Las Vegas experience?
I think it's been updated. I would imagine it's updated. Although
That
if
thing
they're
was
smart,
awesome.
they stayed with the older Star Trek. Could you imagine? Because you know, in Disneyland, they had to get rid of the Hall of Presidents, and I hear that's closed forever because people were going after and beating up the mannequins based on whoever was in power at any given time. It lasted through
Nice.
several presidencies. So
Yeah.
no one has it. We're not calling anyone out. Everybody did it, right? And the thing is, people don't realize this. Disney Florida, I don't know who else has been to the Florida one. It's blazing
I have.
effing hot.
I
It's
have.
blazing effing hot. You wait a good long time to get stripped of a good deal of money. Then you find out if you don't spend a whole lot more, it will waste most of your day online. You get in there, and while your brain is rebooting, you go on Main Street USA and you go to the Hall of the Presidents. And that's where everyone is a wreck trying to recover and figure out what they're going to do with their day more than really caring about what the robots do. Apparently, it started with people beating up the Biden robot.
Oh,
And I'm like, what makes you so sure it's not the real guy? Well, just be
Real
careful.
guy isn't that lively.
I don't know.
I still thought I liked the theory that they had made a robot for Hillary and then Trump one, so they had to like modify it to look more like him than her, and they just didn't do a very good job. Because
She's 5 foot tall and he's 6'3".
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah.
I think now they should just change it to the Hall of Popes, and they could still just have Trump in there. I saw some AI he did today.
Oh, nice.
It's irreverent as could be, but I'm gonna choose to laugh at it.
yeah. I saw it. It was pretty funny.
It was a stupid thing to say in the first place, but okay.
Yeah. And now Dexter gets to lick the bowl.
Someone you say Dexter. It's funny. Someone posted a meme. It said, "Post your personality in a GIF." So I posted Dexter.
You mean the from the show?
Yeah, just smiling slowly.
Hey, Trek Reviewer's here. Hey, Trek Reviewer.
Hey, good
Trek
to see you,
Reviewer.
Trek Reviewer. You with us for a good one. It's action-packed adventure. Ceasefire. Where for some reason they keep firing.
Yeah. Oh, a racial joke. That Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone else catch that?
Yes. I would just say to him, Saval, sir, you need to calm down.
He's like more upset that she phrased it in a word that has an emotional context to it.
Where is this planet prerogative? Is it in the Bobby Brown system? The fuck is up with that?
Oh,
See,
No,
this is
she's
what I
been
was talking about.
contaminated by
She
Tripp's
stood up
emotions.
to. I'm sorry, Jerm. What?
She's been contaminated by Tripp's emotions, not Archer's.
well, yeah.
True. Yeah.
And also by the guy who andored her.
Well, yeah. So this is where I'm saying, like in that right there, she stood up for herself and stood up for Archer. And in the last episode that we didn't watch, she's cowering.
You
just
know,
very
I
inconsistent.
think it's interesting that they did that in Star Wars because now you're using the Andor name as a verb for something very, very negative, and now we're forever stuck with that, right?
You know what? I'm not going to be a guardian giver about it either. You can keep that word.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking online today at the Guardian store, and I so wanted it.
Yeah.
I
So
so
when we
wanted
say
the Guardians
Fontaine.
T-shirt.
yeah, when we say that T'Pol was Andored, it didn't mean that she was forced to watch the Disney Plus show.
No, this is pretty bad. They invaded her brain in an intimate way, which is almost the same thing, but
Oh yeah.
they didn't tell her to be a communist.
Right.
We've been watching Sean carefully for signs of growing communism. Socialism intensifying in the private chat. JT and I have been a little concerned. We're gonna have a capitalistic intercession.
Lying.
Doomcock, how can you do this to my friend?
He's lying.
He was
Must've been
talking
all the
about how the real
fluoridated
reason he
water.
wants to see the movie
Yeah.
is for the Red Guardian. That's why he wants to see Thunderbolts.
Hey, Victor Fontaine is here. Hey.
Hey, Victor. We're also over on Rumble for those who object to YouTube. I do it with you in mind every week, by the way. It's good to see you. Is he on? Is he on the Rumble platform?
No, he's on the YouTubes.
On the tuber,
Ah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter. We've been growing, and we got 3 likes over on the Rumbles side. I thought we had 30 likes, but I realized I was still watching Fat Steven.
Oh, look, it's Wes Cagel's here as well.
Yes, I said
just-
hail to Wes Cagle.
Hi, Wes Cagel. Sorry, I didn't notice it before.
You better be.
I apologize.
be.
Yeah. Hey, when I ate at Taco Bell today and they were playing some James Taylor, and I recorded a little bit for him when I was eating my burrito.
I've seen Phaser Fire and Photon Rain. I've seen solar periods I thought would be eternal. I've had periods of isolation where companionship was not to be found. But I always thought that I'd see you one more time again. Oh! You know, that's no way to back the blue.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It was a mostly peaceful way to for Archer to the pink skin is the problem right there. You know, they couldn't have they couldn't have Pride Weather do that either. Attack beat up the Andorian. It's like, we could have Pride Weather beat them up. It's like, no, 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 they're blue skins. Like, oh, unfortunate analogy. You can tell Tripp's taking this seriously because he has his hair combed back like Tasha when she's on the make. Does anyone else notice that when Tripp is in command, he uses a little extra hair gel?
Yeah.
He does. Archer's going to win most creative use of hair gel in Starfleet history when he shows up with a waxed down Caesar after the attack on Florida. You know what this show did lack a little bit of? Could we have gotten somebody... That was really cool how her antenna went up. Could we have gotten someone who had been in combat to, like, direct these action scenes? There's a real lack of, like, people moving like they would really be in combat. You know, she just sort of sat there playing with her laser flasher gun. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's a little ambivalent for my tastes. I don't know what to say here, like, except that I really do like the music. I wonder if it's original. What was that all about? Just happened to slip?
His foot went through the floor.
Ah. Thank
I
you.
like how he's just beating the crap out of her. Oh, but she just gets him with a straight right.
She's not human,
a Kirk
so
kick.
who knows?
She did a Kirk kick. That was
yeah,
awesome.
I don't know if that's fair to do to Archer, right? Oh, but she's thrown over on her back, Shatner style, and more Shatnerian acting here. Just great Shatnerian action. This is why I watch Star Trek. I'm digging this. It's like, what did you do to the bitch, Archer?
Yeah, I
Ooh,
just
it's a cool
asked.
space scene.
I just asked Grok to rewrite Fire and Rain to make it like Star Trek, and it came up with some pretty good lyrics. Just yesterday morning, they told me the warp core is gone. Enterprise is breaking, can't carry on. I've seen proton blasts, and I've seen black holes claim. I've seen starlight and void, my friend won't see them again.
By the way, is the analogy here the Falklands lore? Right?
Oh,
Our
yeah.
allies are going to
Yeah.
war. Is that the analogy here, the Falklands? It's like, oh, come on, guys. Like, we don't really have a problem with either one of you, but we'll attack whoever goes in there. This is the one consistent thing about Trip is his use of force is unrelenting and unrestrained when Archer is in danger.
Yeah, he's very much like a prototype Scotty. You know, like
Scotty
Scotty'd be like,
sometimes worries about the ship a little more than the captain. Like, Trip consistently will destroy the ship to fuck with anyone who fucks with the captain.
well, that's true, yeah. My poor barons.
Whereas like Trip is just like, I'll double back and fire on the barracks. Where do you think they keep their women and children, DePaul? They would be here. I'll take that structure out too. Program the computers on the ship to fire the cannons while I make a second pass over the camp. A third pass to take out their weapons would be useful. After I get their hospital and their barracks, I'll go for their weapons. It's like the most punitive airstrike of all time. Peaceful Means is a terrible name for a punk band, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't see them. like, bring the toner skin, and I want to ask him.
Toner.
I've been trying to think about what he would call him. Very well, coffee skin.
Oh God. Oh, there it is. He broke her.
She secretly hates him. Uh-oh. In New Trek, the person would have just deleted the other person right there.
Yeah, he should have offed her.
Apparently, he believes in his planet's legal system. Only
Well,
takeaway
maybe.
I can give you.
Yeah, yeah. He's an honorable guy. Like he's
Well, the Andorians
I really
will put
like
her in the agonizer booth till she gives up all his enemies. Who knows what is?
It
We're
does
not
help
allowed to
that he's
charge
sleeping
them.
with her.
By the way, I
Victor's
watched
on
the,
X
um,
now.
I watched part of that, a couple scenes from that movie that Connor Trinneer was playing as W.
Oh
Did
yeah.
a damn good job too.
By the
he
way,
really
12
sells it.
live, 12 live right now on I'm sorry, on the Green
Green
Band.
Place.
Yeah, isn't that great? I don't know how I haven't looked at YouTube in a while.
Wes Kegel.
It tends to displease me.
Wes Kegel's being a naughty boy in the theater.
Mr. Kegel?
Oh,
Can't
you got
have
a
any
big one over
popcorn?
on. You got a big one over on Rumble.
Oh, wow. Hey, Vic Fontaine. I didn't. That must have dropped as I was sending my Trump emojis. Or there's two channels, so I must have gone to the other one. It's broadcast on both. But Vic Fontaine, thank you for the $20 Admiral Teague super chat over there on Rumble. The Rumble rant, as it were. Hail, Admiral Teague. Keep on saving Star Trek on Saturday nights. You know I will. You know I will. We have not missed a Saturday night yet, except on 3-day weekends where we've moved it forward, which has been logical every time. I don't think there are any 3-day weekends in April, are there?
Are there any what in April?
3-day weekends in April? There are no patriotic
Well,
3-day weekends in April.
No.
I'm sorry, in May. Bleh.
Well, there's
It's the end of the
Labor
month.
Day.
Memorial Day. No,
Memorial Day.
Memorial
Memorial
Day.
Day.
Labor Day is September.
Yeah, there's
October.
Memorial Day and Cinco Deported.
Yeah, I
Cinco
knew you
de
were going to say
Mayo.
that. I knew you were going to say that. You know what's great about the month of June is it's going to start on the 1st, so that'll be convenient and easy for calendars. But yeah, this month, I guess Memorial Day weekend is on the 31st is Saturday. That might be a weekend to do it either on a Sunday or a Monday.
I'm good on Saturday. It doesn't matter to me. Whatever
Doesn't
is best
really
for the
matter
show.
to me.
That looks like a different Andorian ship. All right.
All right, and one more person joined me on. Oh, you know what? The accounting thing on YouTube is now kicked in, where they hold a couple of accounts in hand. We're up about 17 people today anyway. A couple of them seem to have dropped off, but hey, you know what? Some people maybe they just didn't like the rest of the channel. But welcome aboard to the people who did join us as I turn off Star Enterprise for the moment. All right, let's grade this episode, Ceasefire. We just watched it. It gets it's the second episode in a row about the Vulcan-human relationship coming after Stigma. And for the most part, I found it to be relatively entertaining. Although Sean found a plot hole in it, it wasn't crafted very well. We got
very
Shran back,
minor.
so
It was a
levels up a
minor,
little.
Wait, hold on a second. Say again?
No, it's a minor plot. You're right. It's a minor plot hole, but it's still the dialogue based ones are always a little annoying. It's like you realize that someone could have caught it. So a little bit of flawed crafting on this one from the Star Trek people.
Hey, excellent episodes can have horrible dialogue mistakes, and I'll give you the best example in all of Trek was the Changeling. That when the bolts are coming at warp 15, and then they absorbed the Enterprise absorbed energy equivalent to 90 of the photon torpedoes. They shoot one back and it absorbs one, and they're shocked. Like, absorbed it. So it was like
Because it was so tiny, right? I guess.
But they didn't know the size of it at that point. They didn't know. They're like, what could absorb that much energy and survive? The Enterprise just absorbed 90 times that amount. But
right. I guess they're trying to. Yeah, that is kind of a mistake. But you know what? I feel that Beeger gets. I feel that Nomad gets a bad name. Beeger did a lot worse stuff. And hey, Wes Cagle, thank you.
Whoa.
Wow. A $10 super chat over there on the mothership. Let me go highlight that. I thank you so much. I've seen Trek, and I've seen Shite. I've seen Kirk bed girls, and I've seen Spock cry like a bitch.
Yeah. I always thought it was funny that Spock got more tail than McCoy ever did.
That is true. Like he's in love with the salt vampire, and that's about it. Guys, give a thumbs up to Wes Cagle for his generous gift. Interact with and like that super chat. I am so grateful. Wes Cagle, thank you very much. I'll sometimes co-host here, sometimes share with me during the week. Wes Cagle is just the best, salt of the earth. I thank you, my friend. And you know what? I guess we should try to give a grade to this episode, which it wasn't too terrible. It wasn't great. It was compared to Stigma, it's probably pretty good.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So who go in first?
Germ, JT, one of you guys want to start?
Sure. I give it a solid B. We get a little bit of progress with Starfleet. We get Shran, which is always a plus. There was that one little error that Sean pointed out, but that's about all. So overall, solid B. Nothing really wrong with it.
Good enough. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's go over to JT. Do you feel ready to assess this piece of Star Trek magnificence here? We've had comms issues on and off all night with Mr. Kirk. I'm not sure if it's... Did I miss a private chat? Okay. Maybe we'll get back to JT. That's an interesting chat. Sean, you get to go next.
My.
Funny.
Oh man.
Okay. It's not like there's anything bad going on, but it's not bad. It's not optimal. It's not optimal.
That happened.
It's bad,
once.
but it's reduced harm enough to be amusing rather than frightening. We're not concerned for him. It's too bad.
Yeah. Hold on one moment here. Give me 1 second here.
Why not? Why not have this one be the episode where I don't go last? You know what?
Okay, yeah, go for
thought
it. Yeah,
this
you're ready. Go.
This episode hung in there and gave us some action. It gave us some intrigue. It gave us back Shran. We're finding out that Jeffrey Combs can sometimes be bigger and better and more impactful than the episode that he's in. And they counted on him to give this episode somewhat of a bigger bang, but it was still, for the most part, aside from that flub, and I guess we could regard it as a flub, with the, Saval contradicting himself. It had good dialogue. It had good tension with the Vulcans and the Andorians. I loved Trip as the second in command. I thought it was, while not the most brilliant Star Trek episode of all time, highly serviceable, so much better as far as seeing our heroes as a team. And I feel like it's benefiting from that because we haven't seen that. And we really wouldn't have seen much of it in Stigma if we had done that one. So not a very, very strong episode, but a strong enough episode. I give this one a B straight up. Just a straight up B like Jerem did.
Mm-hmm.
So it's your turn, Mr. Carter.
Well, this is Elon. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to give this one an A. I'll have to give it, give it an A. One plot hole, didn't ruin it. Didn't ruin it. Okay, back to me. I think like an A, B plus, A minus, probably more on the B plus side. It's not quite, an A is a little too much for it, but it does do a lot of stuff right. We see advancement of the humans are learning. They're becoming more of a part of the interstellar community, which is cool. They got their space legs, like they're respected, and that's really good to see. We can kind of see
they're not
the beginnings of
merchants anymore either. We put a few episodes between us and blowing up that base.
They're we're kind of see the foreshadowings of the Federation. Like the humans are going to become the central species in the quadrant. That's really cool. Gotta love Shran and got Jeffrey. Is it Coombs or Combs?
Combs.
Is it?
I believe it's Combs.
Oh, okay. When you said it, I was like, maybe I've been.
I'm going to use it interchangeably. That's just how I am. I probably should have two O's to be Coombs, right?
Or Qualms.
His actual, he's been very specific about this. His name is Jeffrey Siombus.
Oh, is it?
No.
Oh, wait. God, you always get me.
You know what gets me? How do I, can I, I want to like send some emojis to Vic Fontaine to thank him. So like, there's Leonardo. And then like we'll say my favorite is Trump sort of bobbing his head. I think that's one of the most hilarious emojis of all time. That is the one thing I got to give it to the Rumble people for. Thank you so much, Vic, and thank you, Wes Cagle. The support of you guys is really it's overwhelming and it's great. And also I guess before they put their creator thing in place, Rumble did pay me, so I did get some Rumble bucks. So thanks to all you Rumble people. It was nice to get a few bucks from that. It could have come at a better time. So let's see, JT, have you returned to us?
Not yet, huh?
The fiber triticale at JT's house has to be secured. That's the only way I can do it.
If the chat wants to start I did see a couple people put their grades. I'm starring them for the Admiral here.
Did you really give it an A?
I'm giving it a B plus. It's not quite A material. It doesn't do anything new and exciting. I mean, there's not really much science fiction here. It's political intrigue and stuff like that, which is cool. And we see spaceships and things happening and the Federation.
We went to a planet.
There's nothing science fiction-y about it. So for me to give an A, it has to be either just excellent action or really good science fiction, and that neither of those are quite there for me on here. But I love the
feel like-
episode, and I'll return to watch it.
I feel like they try to put the ethos of a Tom Clancy sort of movie into these Shran
yeah,
episodes,
maybe.
right? Like at least not the books, because the books it's like pages and pages about how like the caterpillar drive works, rather than like the exciting thing that they gave you in the movie. You know, I don't know why his books work so well as movies. Like it didn't. They read very weird. They were good books, but like this has like with him, it's like the spy part of the Tom Clancy stuff. It's sort of like, for whatever reason, we've fallen into a better relationship with the Andorians than the Vulcans have. But
Yeah.
I guess the show has justified it. Like, the Vulcans they're dicks. And then on the other side of the coin is like, the Andorians are like Romulans on, like psycho pills. Like they're slightly calmed down Romulans. You can deal with them, but they might flip out and like whip out like a knife and cut you.
Yeah, people
We've seen them
have
do it.
violent ways.
Yeah.
What's there's an episode, I don't know if it's ahead, because I've been watching ahead the last, because like I wanted to bring up the idea of maybe skipping Stigma, so I've been watching ahead. There's an episode where I don't know if we've seen it just already or it's coming, where T'Pol or Archer makes better progress with a certain alien species than the Vulcans did like in 40 years.
Yeah, that's like one or two more episodes ahead. And you know what?
Okay.
It's honestly, after we've seen, and I want to watch that one. It's kind of good. I don't know.
it's
We'll
a
think
good
about
one.
that one. But the thing that I liked about it is after we saw the hellhole planet, the Vulcans were like, these aliens simply can't run their own planet. Of course we have a dilithium crystal mine and a resort and a winter park where people can ice skate and toboggan on it. Of course we have that. They do not understand the lithium crystals beneath their feet until we got here, Captain. It's like the Vulcans are doing like, they're being like really istophobic. The Vulcans are so fucking flawed. It's like the fact that the biggest flaw in Enterprise is not how flawed the Vulcans are. It's that it's this close to Spock. Like in half a lifetime, they make a serious doctrinal change. Is it possible? Sure, 50 years is a long time, but we're what, about 80 years ahead, 100 years ahead of the original series? A little less.
No, I don't think so.
Stardate 21. Captain Stardate, July 19th. We're getting. I'm not sure the star dates on these. We're like within a decade or two of 100 years before the Enterprise, I think.
It is it ends 110 years before the first year.
Okay, so 110
Of
years
TOS.
before. Yeah, it's 2156 or something. 2154. I
Yeah,
think,
2154 to 2164.
Is
2154 to 2264.
Right, that's the time jump between series.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is 2150. Yeah, so season 1 was 2154. We're in 2155 now. All things being considered even, most likely.
Yeah. So about 110 years.
Well, there goes that stupid line in the JJ track where like, you lost one of Admiral Archer's prize beagles. So you're telling me that Captain Archer was 140?
I know. That's what went through my mind watching it. I was like, why
would
are
have
they
been
bringing
dead.
up a good Star Trek show? Not only are we supposed to believe that Captain Archer's 140 years old, but Porthos is like 110.
Well, in dog years.
He's 770 in dog years. He's like,
Well, no. He doesn't mention Porthos. He just says it's one of his prize beagles. So, like Archer, I guess continues to breed beagles.
Maybe there's a
He doesn't
line
say
of
Porthos?
Archer
Hey, you're
beagles.
back.
Yeah.
whoa.
Welcome back.
Welcome. You want to give your thoughts on the episode after you give your comment?
Well, the episode definitely has some very interesting ideas on negotiation and how to get two sides to stop fighting. And it's very 2000s in the way that it thinks about it. I don't know if the story would have been written the same way today after going through Iraq and the current conflict in Europe and in the Middle East. You know, I think maybe people are a little bit more skeptical on how power politics should be played than what was depicted here. And because it was written so present day, I'm not sure I just think it would have been a far different episode.
You're saying they're kind of using like Cold War detente and Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, and a little bit of optimism that basically, Earth at this point is like the United States, is how it's written, right? Like America type of a thing. And I really just...
Yeah, I mean, I
or
would
the
definitely
West,
call
more
Archer...
generally, the West one.
Archer might be space JFK. Like, I could see him being in like his quarters with DePaul, and he's like, when it comes right down to it, DePaul, the Andorians love their children too. Some kind of JFK sort of line like that.
And also this episode, the idea of negotiation is not a new one in Star Trek at all, right? We have it from TOS to TNG, and you see a huge difference in how negotiations are viewed in between basically two different generations of writers, right? And different stages of the Cold War. So I think a lot of the writing that's done in Star Trek doesn't necessarily escape the time that the writers live in when there's thoughts about how things should go. There's that bias that, it's just what I don't even know if you could ever escape that truly. So I think this is very illustrative of the early 2000s, where TNG was the late 80s, early 90s, and TOS the late 60s, right? So from that perspective, an interesting episode. Is it the best Trek of all time? Not really. Does it offend me? No. The budget clearly wasn't there for much in the way of action, which might actually have helped the episode a bit. I don't think we needed to see any more fighting than we did. So at the end, may I give my score? Are we at that point yet?
Yeah, we gave our
a B. I'll give it a B. I didn't hear anyone else's score or review. Sorry.
Everyone gave it a B. Sean gave it a B plus because he felt the episode had heart.
Yeah.
He felt it rooted its way to a B plus. Is that a fair way of putting it, Sean?
Yeah. It didn't quite earn an A, but it's a good 87. I'd like to clarify
these two
it
bench
because...
player ideas, and when we put them on the field, they sacked the quarterback right away, and they did for Notre Dame. It's way to go, Rudy.
Yeah, like it's just under where the teacher would give you the A. Like, okay, if a teacher's going to say, okay, you get an 89, I'll just give you the A. No, it doesn't quite even hit that. It's like an 86.5, 87. Yep.
Okay, well, my in the vacuum review, not knowing what you all had, we arrived at the same answer. So
yeah,
that must mean we're all wrong or we're all correct.
Well,
and I would never dare say that the Admiral is incorrect. So, Admiral Sir, well done, as always.
He was also correct in listening to our suggestions.
The episode is pure anti-proton, says my friend Wes Cagle. Absolutely pure. You know what, Wes Cagle? There is another man I know who has messed around with anti-proton. There's two things you want to stay away from on the Final Frontier, and Sean and I and JT and Jerem, we know this. One is proto-matter, right? Am I right? Proto-matter. Whoa, not even once. David Marcus, when he started messing with the proto-matter, whoa. And by the way, I watched an episode of Miami Vice, and they ran into these dirty cops from South Beach, and one of the cops got loud with Crockett. And, it was Crockett, who my father used to misgender when we would watch the show because he hated him so much. And... he called, but he if my father had known his name, and this is what he said when he saw the show. He goes, he looks like that guy in your sister's wall. And I'm like thinking, it's like the guy on the boat. He's like, yeah, that English cigarette. And I'm like, Simon Le Bon. I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like we're watching for a little while longer, and he's like, Janet Jackson's husband's on this too. That guy can act. He's kind of talented. He's better than that other weirdo. And he hated Crockett. And he's just like, what kind of cop comes to work with pale pink pants? What are you gonna do? But you stay away from the proto matter. As they start to argue with the other dirty cops from South Beach, they get out and it's gonna get fisty. And Sonny Crockett is there with his pink T-shirt, his white cherry cloth biker jacket, and his pale pink pants, right? And he has to be held back. It's like, hey, get your hands off me, like he's some kind of tough guy. But the cop coming at him and being held back by the other cops is David Marcus. And I'm like, well, I know Merrick Buttrick was not. I mean, maybe he can fight. I don't know. We know a couple of things about Merrick Buttrick as far as, like, I don't think he was okay, well, thanks for having me on the set.
By the way, speaking
and
of
we
Miami
miss him.
Vice,
He's a good Trek actor.
my dad worked on one of the first shows my dad worked on in the business was called The Blue Knight with Don Johnson, and even to the day my dad retired, he said Don Johnson was the worst actor he'd ever seen, ever. He said the guy could never remember his lines. He would hold scripts in his hands.
Not
and look at
very good as Crockett.
No,
I mean, he's just stands there, and it doesn't help him. I mean, does he have a little bit of natural charm and charisma? Yes,
he
has a little bit of something.
He has a little bit of what's his name from NCIS, Mark Harmon. He's a little Mark Harmonish in his charm.
Say Scott Bakula.
He actually, Scott Bakula rises just a little bit above those two actors, although he never reached their earning potential. So who knows? Like, it's still the future may still be ahead for them. But RRTNZ has chimed in with $2 New Zealand super chat $2 New Zealand super chat, guys. Thumbs up it. It deserves many thumbs up. He says, rubbing Chuck Norris's beard creates anti-protons. What do you think of this buddy comedy, right? It's Harrison Ford and Chuck Norris together, and they with Trump go across country, and they have to stop a bunch of pterodactyls that have escaped from Jurassic World with machine guns. And Harrison Ford has to fly them there without crashing. Yeah, I would see that movie.
The alpha pterodactyl, right at the end of the movie, where Donald's the only one left and everybody else has been injured. He pulls back the lever to charge that Browning 50 cal he's got on the back of a Jeep or something, and he says, "You're fired." And then just it just the whole belt into the giant pterodactyl. Now that would be a movie I would pay to see.
How about this one? When he walks up to the final alpha pterodactyl that had been leading the fight, he walks up to it, works the bolt, and John Wicks it and goes, "That's for Vince Foster, bitch," and walks away.
It could work. Again, I want to hear him say, "You're fired."
You're fired. Yeah.
You're fired. He's fired. He died like a dog. Yeah. All right. So, by the way,
no.
This has been like unity for the panel. Let's see we got 15 votes really fast on Ceasefire. Guys, when I'm done reading this, I would like to do a snap poll and see what people think of us as reviewers, if we're ready yet for the Final Frontier. I want to see if they think that we're getting harsher or if we're getting better.
Admiral, before you do that, I did star a couple of ratings that the chat did. Did you want to read those real quick? There's like 2 or 3.
I absolutely will. Keep on voting, guys. Just to update you quickly, with 15 votes in, and at 22, it becomes totally scientifically accurate for the community. on Saturdays. Weekdays, it's 12. A, 40%. What grade do you give Ceasefire? A, 40%, B, 47%, and C, 7%, and D, F, 7%. All right. And I see that Miskatonic Madman has invoked the Super Pair song. It's there flying through the air with his arm out, and let me just stand up to get my diaphragm out. I just drank a little bit of milk, so it's good. My throat is like ready to go. All right, here we go. Believe it or not, it's a walking. Oh wow, let's start that one over. It's not walking. Believe it or not, it's a flying pair that Miskatonic has sent to be. He flying away 'cause there's wings on that pair. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's Admiral Teague. All right. Thank you. Imagine, what must my neighbors think? It's like this one day there's going to be
singing
people
about the
from
pear
like
again,
Bellevue
June.
outside. The guy keeps singing about fruit. Fucking weirdo. Watch his freaking.
Yeah, there's like the little
Star
lady
Trek all
next
day.
door. She's like on the phone.
Hold on, Madge. The weird neighbor next door is singing about that pear again.
And I'm not any behind, right? Did I get them all? Did I miss one here? Slipping through, no super chats have
You
slipped through the
got our
vest,
RT
right?
and
I've mentioned
Zeds,
them
right?
all.
With Chuck Norris, I believe.
We
Yeah,
got
yeah,
the
he
Chuck
read that.
Norris
Yeah,
one.
no,
we
you are
we
caught
actually
up,
we had
sir.
we had an in-depth Biden joke riff about that one that was hilarious. I don't know, like
Indeed.
the next Biden joke, we might have to bring it right back to like, and when Biden stood there at Waterloo and said to His Grace, the Lord Field Marshal, he said, "Go up there and attack Napoleon. That hill's muddy as fuck. Believe me, his cavalry won't be be able to do anything. Just put him in boxes." Biden knew this because he had fought with the Three Musketeers earlier, but the King Louis of France in the 15th century. He was a
we have another
Highlander.
one.
Oh my God! Hey, the Biden stories. We're gonna keep telling stories. We're gonna talk about corn pop next, guys. Wes Cagle, I heart your chat. Let me go over onto the chat, over onto YouTube, so I can pull it up. And I'm sorry, I was at Streamlabs, so I can StreamYard. I keep calling it Lab. StreamYard, so I can light that up. Thank you. My brother sent me a picky snap down in Florida of a fully restored Willis Jeep with an actual M2 Browning mounted on the back. So cool. That is freaking cool. $5 super chat. Thank you very much. And in Florida, like, think about it. Like, if you're in that one and someone starts rolling coal, you can jump in back and Second Amendment your way out of them, like rolling coal in your face. Or get next to them and start firing in the air to celebrate the rolling coal. It depends. You have total freedom of choice in Florida. I don't know. I think if someone rolled coal, I get why they would do it, but like if they did it in front of me, I think I'd be angry. Anybody? Sean, you roll coal. What do you do?
I roll call?
Do you ever heard that one?
Cool.
No, I don't know what that means.
Oh, goodness.
Rolling.
Okay.
Oh gosh. Okay, JT, go ahead.
Okay, so rolling coal is usually done in a pickup that's lifted and usually has their exhaust redirected to, instead of going down and out the side of the truck, but not always, but quite often, has extra large diameter tailpipes that go straight up like a semi.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. Oh, yeah.
right between the bed and the cab. So
Yeah, I
then,
see a lot of that
when
around
it's-
here,
It's usually a diesel, but
Yeah,
they'll add some dirtiness to their fuel mixture that they're burning, and so it basically creates a massive cloud of smoke the
Yep.
second they step on the accelerator. So
Yeah, like a
they'll
bus.
usually do it when they're in front or next to a Toyota Prius or something something similar, right? As a way of saying thank you for being good stewards of the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see that a little bit here. Not a lot, but sometimes there's those
I
idiots.
don't see that a lot, but I live in a very northern state that sent tens of thousands of soldiers for the Union, and yet I see more Confederate flags in a major metropolitan area than I did in rural Tennessee. Let that
You know what's
sink
funny?
in.
I haven't seen one here.
Yeah.
And I'm in Central Texas, and I have
I
not
know.
seen
I know.
one stars and bars, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I see a lot of the big white trucks, now like the kids that get them, they put the stupid LEDs all over on the underneath their truck, and it looks so stupid.
I don't even think that's legal in most states.
Yeah.
But anyway, more than what people wanted to know, I guess, on this Star Trek stream.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're
So,
having fun, folks. We are.
Yeah.
Trust me, we are.
So yeah, Admiral. So yeah, there's only the three.
I just want to point out, Michigan sent George Custer to fight for the Union. JT.
Oh hell yeah!
I don't know.
Played Custer's favorite song, in the town.
Would that be
where
Gary
he
Owen?
Yes, I have played Gary Owen in the very town of Monroe, Michigan, where he lived. So
Wow.
they are big on Custer in that area.
Did you know
So-
that when he died, he was the most photographed man in history?
Custer.
Well, small sample size, but that doesn't surprise me.
Right, because the functional
Lincoln was
photograph
not
was
very-
only
yeah. and
the
Lincoln
functional
was-
camera is only around for like say 12 years.
Yeah,
when he
Lincoln was
dies.
not photogenic whatsoever.
Right, and he also he brings reporters and photographers out west with him.
To make him basically look like a Rommel type figure. He was like the dry run. He might have been Rommel, you know. For all
He
you
was a
know, or
little
no,
bit
Patton.
kind of effing
Patton.
crazy.
Yeah.
He was
could have
going to
been
be
Patton.
president.
Patton was there at that battle, by the way.
He was there as Custer. I would say this though, Sitting Bull probably saved us what would have been like a semi-Hilterish figure, because he would have been president and he would have been a whack job, I think. Although who knows? They say in his personal politics, like he really wanted to like do the right thing by the Guardians.
Yeah,
But
he
Congress
is,
and the government weren't going to do it.
He is a man of complexities that is also a product of his time. So,
I
it's
blame
an interesting
him
thing.
for-
I don't know if people want to.
He's the reason
talk
why
about
Bill
Custer
Belichick-
for a half hour. But
Well, you know what the relevance of it is, JT, is that
Yeah.
he's the reason why Bill Belichick's girlfriend is so hot. Because when he left behind his regimental band, one of the members of that regimental band was the great-great-grandfather of Vinny Vinatieri, who kicked that field goal that won him his first Super Bowl. So if not for Custer making that mistake, because you got to bring the regimental band with you. That's why he lost. Forget those 4 Gatling guns he left behind. The regimental band is why. I mean, people need music if they're going to fight. And
right, of course.
and this, by the way, how great would it been if Custer had this Jeep with the M2 Browning on it? It would have made probably a big difference there.
There's a Twilight
Instead of being
Zone
called
episode
Last
about
Stand
that,
Hill,
by the way.
they have a tank.
Yes.
It's with Greg Morris, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I thought it was
A
maybe in Outer
fantastic
Limits.
episode.
You know
It's
why?
the Twilight
I
Zone.
think. You know what confused me? I think it's from the 1 hour Twilight Zones.
It is.
That's
The
why I thought it was
originals.
Outer Limits. Yeah, that's why I thought it was Outer Limits, because it's an hour long. You know what? It is a really good story. The only thing about that one that stretches credulity is 5 of 5 tank crew members have conversational knowledge of the battle. But then again, if you're on operations in that area, maybe you do read up on that very famous battle. But that puts the location of that episode right where our 1923 episodes took place. So, hey, that's got to be pretty good, right?
Exactly.
It's a portent. It's a sign. All right, so we're looking ahead right now into the ahead times, and I'm going to see what our episodes coming up. Like we said, we have Canamar, The Crossing, Judgment, and Horizon. Horizon's going to be great for lols. That's going to be. Could you imagine the upload of that and how like we would just like it'd be like 3 community warnings in a row? It'd be just like.
I feel like we should watch Deep Horizon. I feel like that's a better movie. Right.
I will say this, and I don't know if our Saturday,
Event
if our
Horizon,
Saturday
I'm
nights.
sorry. Event Horizon.
I love
Watch
Event
that.
Horizon. I would watch it. You know what? I would say this. Every once in a while, the Star Trek panel watching a non-Star Trek show to see how they react to it would be one, make us again another way unique from other Star Trek shows. But two, just be plain old fun. Like I wouldn't mind seeing how you guys reacted to certain movies other than outside the Star Trek world. It would be fun to see it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Admiral, looking at these next ones coming up, I think we're in a good stretch here.
We actually
for
kind
the
of
most
are.
part. Future Tense, I love. I don't know if anyone else does, but it's one of my
Is that a tempo of
favorites.
Cold War?
Yeah, yes.
I'm inclined
That's
to say I
that's
don't
the
know.
mystery ship that's bigger on the inside. It's the TARDIS episode. And you get a lot of good shots at T'Pol in that one.
All right, you convinced me.
Yeah.
The next one after that, Canamar, is Con Air.
Yeah,
Because
I
Scott
remember
Bakula
that
didn't
one.
get invited
Yeah.
to be in that movie. Like everyone else in the world did.
Then we have Judgment. Oh, The Crossing, everyone agreed is good,
Okay. And then
right? Because it's weird. It's very Star Trek.
it's very Star Trek. Judgment, I like only because it's Klingon, and I love me Klingons.
Horizon, we said for lulz, there's no way not to do it.
Right.
We've just taken ourselves all the way to I think August.
We may have.
We've at least gotten into July. We're about 7 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah.
About 7 episodes. Yeah, it'll take 7 episodes to be in the first or second week of July. Then The Breach, the crew try to rescue scientists who've been working deep underground. I could live without it.
I say we skip.
Congenitor, the Enterprise crew
Congenitor.
encounters an alien species that relies on a third gender. Yeah, that's not happening.
Skip.
Regeneration. Earth recalls the Enterprise to intercept 2 renegade cyborgs, but the human robot hybrids turn out to be an insidious enemy. Could this be the Star Trek's first contact with the Borg? Oh, we're watching this one, and we're going to talk about how it disproves the movie First Contact is canon. Well, that was the thing. There's one thing that makes Scotty R37 completely insane. Guys, don't tell him I told you this, but this is a way to make Scotty R37 completely insane, right? Don't tell him. I told him that I don't think that anything that happens after Captain Kirk jumped into the Nexus, and certainly not after Picard is in the Nexus, is real ever again. And that Star Trek, all of it ends for me right there. And he blew up like Praxis at me. And yeah, let them die. You have vouched. But he blew up at like Praxis at me, and and Jill's just like trying to broker this and
She
and
didn't
calm him
ask
down
for that.
But,
It's just
but,
like, what
but,
the hell?
but the thing is, then she decides to do the worst thing she could do, side with someone who's wrong. So she decides to back up Scotty, which I guess is admirable, but now they're both wrong. And she goes, I don't think it should throw Enterprise out of canon. And I'm like, in Star Trek First Contact, did you see the movie? Yes. What happened to the Borg cube? Completely destroyed. Completely destroyed on the other side of the moon, far from Earth. What happened to the Borg sphere? What do you mean? It was vaporized. There was no debris to fall to Earth, and it had an equatorial
level vaporization.
Yes. It was blown up as much as the ship from Aliens, and completely and totally vaporized. So that means that the Battle of First Contact may have happened, and there may have been some time travel by the Borg. But the story that Picard imagined went a bit too far in a few places. And when I told Scott, because Jill goes, I don't think we should throw Enterprise out of canon. I go, Enterprise, I said, Enterprise isn't out of order. Your story's out of order. This whole fucking continuity's out of order. What's out of order right here is the idea that First Contact is anything but a Nexus fever dream, because there is no Borg debris. And if there is, it's on an equatorial orbit. How come it ends up on the North Pole?
Right.
How come?
Right.
Okay, so there we go. On every sense of the word, absolutely. Enterprise is canon. That was what they told me. Enterprise is canon. And I said to them, you know what? When I think, and I, off the top of my head, because it's true, There was no debris. It's on an equatorial orbit. One was destroyed on the far side of the moon. There's no way that there was any Borg debris in the way first contact happened. So clearly, what happened here was we had alternative facts where we had found out that there were some Borg, maybe from a different expedition. It might not have been connected to the Battle of First Contact, but there probably was a Battle of First Contact because I don't want to tell anybody this. I hate to share, but I went to the Battle of First Contact High School.
You did? Really?
Yeah, I went to Battle of Sector 001 High School. And our rivals, the Wolf 359 High School, they were like, we out tragedy you. And I was like, F you, you jackasses. But you know what? The Wolf 359 Hansons, they were a good team, man. We never messed with the Admiral Hansons because they had Admiral in their name. But no, I think that you could make a case that the Borg episode of Enterprise throws the movie First Contact out of canon, doesn't it? They're hostile to each other, that's for sure, aren't they?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I haven't heard from Sean in a while. I don't know. Did I miss a private chat? Sean, blink your eyes if you can hear me.
I believe Sean's still away.
Oh, he did step away. Yeah, okay.
I'm back. Sorry. Sorry,
okay.
my wife got home. So
no
and
problem.
She's already gone to bed. She's exhausted.
There was no Post Malone concert tonight. What happened?
Oh no, she works at Lowe's as a second job, and they had her closing today. She did like a 9-hour shift, so she's been on her feet.
Oh yeah.
So she's like, "Yeah, I'm tired. I'm going to bed."
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
understandable.
For those of you listening in bed, more power to you. You know, we are bringing you your Star Trek entertainment. All right.
Also, after that, we have First Flight. That is one of my personal favorites.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
And then
we're talking about episode. We were saying maybe regeneration. I was saying regeneration to me shows like Scotty and Jill and I were on. That's how long ago it was, right? And I told Scotty I thought that everything from the point of the middle of Star Trek First Contact, Star Trek Generations is a Nexus fever dream. And I dismissed all the other movies as Nexus fever dreams that were bullshit because he got mad at me because I walked out of Star Trek Nemesis, and I'm like, I didn't have the self-hating, self-loathing to sit through that fucking movie. Fuck that Star Trek movie. But he's like, why? And I'm like, it's a Nexus fever dream. He's like, what? I'm like, everything after the middle of the first movie is a Nexus fever dream. Probably after Kirk goes in, but certainly after Picard goes in. He's like, but, and then Jill is like, poor Jill, she didn't count on this happening, and she's like trying to broker peace. She's like, now, Teague, we don't want to throw Enterprise out of, canon. And I'm like, Enterprise is not out of canon. First Contact's out of canon. Nemesis is out of canon. This whole fucking continuity's out of canon.
This whole damn court is out of order. Yeah.
Because in Star Trek First Contact, what we see is the Borg cube is there any debris, Sean, from the Borg cube when we see it destroyed?
Not that I know of.
Absolutely vaporized to the point where it takes out several Federation warships and vaporizes them too. There is nothing left bigger than the size of a fucking match head.
Yeah.
The second Borg sphere is blown up in orbit, equatorial orbit. We see this. We see it. It's an equatorial orbit, Sean. It's equatorial. Equatorial orbit. And when it's blown up, it is blown up more than the Death Star and more than the Nostromo. It's blown up, Sean. Sean, we see this thing vaporized. Is there any debris from Borg sphere?
Not that I can recall.
But there is Borg debris on Earth that it either is not related to First Contact or the Borg time travel and all that just had nothing to do with Picard, because obviously the Borg debris could not be from First Contact as we saw it. So I think it's simply another Borg expedition, probably during the Antarctic phase. What do you think of that?
It could have been, yeah. But I did like the episode.
Yeah. It's a great episode. It's just, but it proves that First Contact is a Nexus.
What I really think happened was that those Borg in Regeneration found one of the Stargates and walked through it, not realizing that they were going to end up in such a region.
All I know is like somewhere out there, Scott. Somewhere out there, Scotty R37 is cobbling together some story about some headcanon about how like Mr. Hawk becoming a full-on Borg and being released before he was killed somehow. Like he fell into a time hole and went back and was able to get the Borg to Earth. So he's still right. He'll figure something out. Godspeed. But that was a funny moment. But yeah, so first flight, after one of his colleagues died, DePaul and Arch tell the story of how a rival worked together for the first high warp test. That's the one with Kill Bill Jr.
Oh, David Carradine?
Isn't he in that one? Isn't David Carradine?
I think so.
in it?
Is it David
Yeah.
Carradine?
It's Keith Carradine.
Oh, is that his son?
I believe so.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
They're either brothers. The Carradine family is like multi-generational in Hollywood. They go back further than and have made more stuff than the Barrymores.
Really?
Yeah. Then hey, the other
Didn't
one
hear
involves
about the family, the first one in Hollywood, George Washington Carradine.
That's right. He came over on the Mayflower where
Yeah.
he was he sang and danced for people. That's why they let him on the ship. They didn't have TV. They let him on to sing and dance for them. He danced for nickels. By the way, then after that we have after First Flight, which is good, we have Bounty. By the way, the First Flight, that might be a good one to save for when we're doing episodes of the original series for when I can't keep up with the editing. Because it's quality and it stands alone and outside the rest of the series.
Well, aren't you going to have a little more time than lately? Because there's not going to be any 1923 for you to do.
There'll be 1923 sometime during the
There'll be
70 weeks
SNW.
it's going to take.
Or-
SNW.
SNW is very important too. Well, we won't be into TOS before SNW comes out. But the fact that they are supposed to start in something like 5 weeks or to 9 weeks, they have to start by the end of June, is what they said. That's their only date is June. There's nothing on the Paramount release calendar from them, though. They have no date on the Paramount. They have only their date. There is no corresponding Paramount release date that Admiral Teague could find. So Strange New Worlds and their SpongeBob commercial might be the last we ever see of them. I've heard that this sale is finally about to happen. Now, we've been hearing this since fucking... The first story about the Paramount sale finally happened was last June.
Well, there's a certain lawsuit that needs to be settled out before the sale happens, isn't there?
There's been real movement.
Real movement
Real
with
movement in
the
the
lawsuit? Oh, okay.
I don't know what it is. It could be as simple as they spin off the news division to be its own, like, legally plagued entity that goes away and start over again with news, because you have to do that to have a broadcast license.
from the lawsuit settlement and
everything
just
else
goes
they
out
did
of
wrong.
business. Yeah.
All of a sudden, a bus with a lot of their high-paid actors and reporters goes off a cliff. It's like they're on the way to the corporate meeting. It was such a shame. It's like, a little convenient. No. We're really upset about it. Then comes Bounty. Where
I forget about Bounty.
T'Pol prematurely suffers from Tapan. Yeah, that's another one we can keep in hand because it's good, but it stands alone. It's not that important. The Expense.
Not The Expanse.
Oh, it is The Expanse.
Yeah,
The
okay.
Expanse. Sorry.
I thought this
Captain
was like a
Archer.
right. Yeah, we're gonna skip The Expanse, right?
Captain Archer and the crew following a devastating... there's no mention in here about Holden or Thomas Jane or Proto-Mata. Yeah, I don't understand this Expanse story. Fuck this Expanse story. We're going to skip that one, and that brings us to the end of Season 1. It's episode 26. There's no two-parter. Sorry, that brings us to
So
the end
we're not going to
to
do the Zindi arc at all, or just some
We're going to
parts?
do, like, the 5 best episodes.
And
we'll
the
do
Expanse is not... You don't
non-Zindis.
think the first one is one of them?
Is the Expanse is in the attack?
Oh no.
Yeah, the Expanse is the... Oh, wait, is it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
That's when it opens up with them deleting Central Florida. They're like,
Guys, coming in a few
we've
weeks.
heard that Disney is the worst of humanity. Start.
Guys,
there.
coming right around July, Admiral Teague rants about how a nuclear response was the only appropriate way to respond to 9/11 for an extended period of time.
Hey,
All
they'll
right,
get better
well,
views than covering the freaking Zindi arc.
the Zindi arc can be summed up in a good conversation. The episode where they steal the warp drive and the episode where they run into those people again, both of those are important to the meta of the show as a whole and Archer's development. And yeah, the first episode back where Archer has the wax down Caesar and is just all military. When they're like, Captain, we're going to do this. Captain, we're going to do that. And like, he says this is no longer democracy. And they're like, Captain, we're going to do this. And Captain, we're going to do that. And he looks at them. And I think, is it Reed and Tucker? And he looks at them both and he's like, I said you're dismissed. And he just, and when they walk out, he's just like sneering and angry and hateful. And the thing is, like, it was cool at the time. I could enjoy it, and it was good enough. But and I can deal with the first episode. But to do it for 26 weeks, no. And the one thing I will say, in all honesty, this was the only media that approached 9/11 in any meaningful way that didn't fuck it up badly. It was far enough away, but it's still a little too close, too much. It's too on the nose too often. About 10 of these episodes are really on the nose.
Right. Yeah, and the one part of the Zindi arc is I got kind of tired of Tucker pining about his sister. I mean, I get it. He was upset, but it happened too much.
They left out the part where he had her insured right before she died, and then he was able to have an entire island in the Keys. Yeah. And what happened was her home became riverfront property because even though she didn't make it, she was right on the edge of her property, and it was acres and acres. If she had been anywhere else, it was because it was like Florida. It was the only place with cell phone reception, so she was at the edge of her property. And she was actually, it was a call from Trip that triggered it all. It's the only reason she was there. Went there like once a month to get a call from Trip. The only time she checked her phone mail. And it's his phone. But now he has, like, basically they called it the Hillbilly Riviera down there. Sorry, Florida. I love you guys. It's the only place other than New York I'd ever live. Florida, I love you. I've been in you. The things I've done in you, Florida. The things I made sure not to do that other people in Florida seem to do. Oh. So then, let's see. What is season 3? Let's see what the episodes are. Planning this tangentially. All right, let's take a look. Then we have episode 1 of season 3 is the Zindi. I suppose we should watch that. The Anomaly. No.
What was the Anomaly? Isn't that one where the Vulcan ship that goes nuts?
Yeah.
That's is that Space Crack? I'll watch Space Crack.
Space Crack?
What's the one where they find the Space Crack, right?
Don't.
Paul starts getting a little problem.
No, that's the one with the crazy ship. They find the Space Crack a couple episodes later, I believe.
Exile?
Oh, Impulse, episode 5.
Impulse.
Yeah.
We're watching Space Crack because Paul's really hot in Space Crack. All right, so Extinction. Archer, Reed, and Hoshi are exposed to highly contagious virus. Another medical episode, skipping it.
That's a rerun of TNG with Geordi.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Rajan involves something that rhymes with, but is not quite the same as bravery.
Yeah. Beautiful
we'll
actress.
We'll be skipping that one.
But we can skip it. Because
she's pretty hot.
Your algorithm's going to get squashed because you can't not say the word.
Right.
You say it like 200 times.
The Space Crack, however, I think is safe. Then comes Exile. A lonely telepath begs Hoshi to visit faraway planet in exchange for information about the Zindi, then refuses to allow the linguist to leave. Yeah, anything about Hoshi is going to get priority. So we've already said we're skipping a bunch of them.
Well, in the Exile, that alien is a huge fan of cunning linguists.
I will watch the Exile for sure.
Sean
the shipment.
Sean got it. Teague's not allowed to laugh, but Sean is.
I didn't know. I didn't know enough to laugh. I hear some of the jokes that I miss later, but that one went right over my head. A Zindi sloth planet. A Zindi sloth plant that synthesizes vital explosive material. Oh, it's a plant, like a facility. Okay. A Zindi sloth plant I'm not watching
No,
that
that's a
one. The
skip.
shipment
That's a
sucks.
skip.
Twilight.
That's where he recruits Degra, and we don't need that one.
Twilight. I'm Team Bella. I mean, do we need to know more?
I kind of liked that one.
After an accident on the Enterprise, Archer loses his short-term memory and begins to wake up every day not remembering anything from the day before. Wow, that's like my life.
Yeah, that one's kind of weird. It's not really important. It's
not important for anything.
Yeah.
You're right, Germ. We can make a decision on that later.
North Star. Archer
This
discovers a planet where thousands of humans are living in a town that strongly resembles the Old West and becomes embroiled in a dangerous cultural conflict. Something about that is saying, like, probably yes on that one.
It's
remember
like
Battlestar Galactica did that with one
the
eye.
original one in like episode 3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah, they had Apollo had a shootout with one eye.
Yeah.
And then we have Similitude. I don't even like the name. Dr. Flock's clones trip.
I don't like it.
yeah, it's no good.
Oh yeah, Sim.
Oh, the next one is definitely a skip. Carpenter Street. Daniels
that
pays
one's in
Archer a visit.
That one's in Detroit, aka Los Angeles,
But it's got Daniels.
isn't it? Isn't it?
You're supposed to. It's got Daniels. Why do we have
Yeah,
Daniels?
this is
back?
where
8
T'Pol
seconds.
finally believes in time travel. Isn't Silic in that one? I think Silic is back there with
Is
him.
that
This
the
where
end of the
Silic-
Silic story?
It
Yeah,
might be.
he kills Silic
I
back there.
believe
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
I hate
but
Silic. I'll go to Carpenter Street to see him die.
the whole thing with that is it's in Detroit, but Detroit has mountains because it's really just filmed in L.A.
Yeah.
So like, what's one
In the
shitty
future,
to another?
Detroit. In the future, Detroit will have mountains. That's one of the things that Trump's going to do in his third term.
Oh, jeez.
What? Think about the money that can be made building these mountains. I'm not talking paper mache. I'm talking like after you guys paved the whole state and painted the color that it is on the maps in school. I want to see everyone in Michigan out there with a paint roller just painting away. Well, that'll get people to go to the tree museum.
Oh, good point.
Yeah. If we pave, and here's the thing: once we pave over the entire state, we can get rid of any age requirements or laws regarding driving, because you'll be able to drive everywhere, and you won't have to look at the road because you'll always be on it. That's my plan. We need to pave the entire nation, but that's been a dream of mine all my life.
like the Borg, like the Borg just paved over the entire Earth.
Yeah.
Well, no, I
pretty
wouldn't
much.
pave over the ocean. I'd pave under the ocean so it'd be clean and even, clear out all that
Yeah.
plant life and all those little ocean vents at the bottom, just cover them over. And so that we could just, like so that when the oceans are at a low point, people could skateboard at the edge of the ocean. It would be like a skate park.
Right.
I've
Anyway,
thought
we're
ahead.
skipping Carpenter Street. Chosen
Well, no, if we
Realm.
see Silic die, I might watch Carpenter Street.
Okay.
Just to end that arc, because that does start the show. It's a little bit like we're talking like that's just 1 week. I'll vindictively cut out a good episode to watch it, or we'll watch one. And some of these will get wrapped up in one night. We're into, or that's season 4. Proving Ground, an Andorian ship led by Commander Shran. We're watching that. Shran gets watched. Stratagem. The crew creates an elaborate ruse to fool the creator of the Zindi superweapon into revealing the location to Archer.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I was going to say
That's a good
that.
acting.
It's built on the Four Lights episode, I think.
Wait, is that the one? Wait, is that the one where they're in the shuttlecraft?
Yeah, the fake.
Well,
one.
Yeah, that was a really
They're
good
inside
episode.
The Disney ride. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one because I forgot the guy, the actor that plays what's his name? That character, Degra. He's a good actor, and he and Bakula have some good chemistry in that episode. That's a good watch. Yes, no.
So we'll definitely be watching that one. No, I think it's probably
Yeah.
a safe one.
Oh, and
Then we
that's if you remember in our our ex chat group, the guy that plays Degra is one of 6 people that have played 7 roles in Star Trek.
That's crazy. Has he been in every series up to then? Was that
No,
what
he
it
wasn't
was?
in TOS. He played a few in TNG and DS9.
I have a, I have a feeling that JT is going to like the next episode because I know he likes the faction involved. The next episode in
No,
order
that's not the
is
one you're thinking of.
it's Harbinger where the Makos get. I'm sorry, no. Yeah, Harbinger. The Makos have a thing going on. Major Hayes disrupts Archer and Fox's investigation of a rescued alien.
I don't know what my thoughts are on the Makos. I kinda
only
like 'em.
justified that you needed to have a red shirt division.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
And there's that real ugly chick that that Trip hooks up with.
Yeah.
She's got, I mean, she is just, it's like they could have gotten Gina Carano. That would have been great.
Oh, Amanda Cole.
Hi,
They
Sith
could
Dan.
Yes, we're
he's
watching
giving her a
Harbinger
cat fight.
for Amanda Cole. Yes.
Hello, Sith Dan. Let's see. Then we got Harbinger. We got Doctor's Orders.
This is one.
Another medical one.
No, this is a ripoff of Voyager, where Seven has to get them through the radiation in the Necrid Expanse, right? Or no? not the
Oh,
Necrid
yeah.
Expanse.
Is that
Yeah,
like
that's
the
the one.
Is that like the Van Halen belts in the upper atmosphere of the Earth?
No. It's a rerun episode. We can skip Doctor's Orders. We
Okay,
can skip Hatchery. Hatchery is when Commander Archer or Captain Archer becomes a simp for the insectoids.
Right, and then we got Azadi Prime. He destroys their super weapon finally. So maybe that's the one to watch.
It's a Daniels episode.
When does Daniels
But that
go
damage
away?
is the one I like. Damage. He makes it into Star Trek Discovery.
Damage
He does.
we
He
can
made
skip.
it into Star Trek Discovery. No, Damage is a really good one because that's the one where he steals the warp core,
If you
where he
say
attacks
so.
the innocent
okay.
ship. I like that one because he's so unethical and it's so un-Starfleet like. And that BMAT where he says he's sorry, that is really good. Then there's the Forgotten. Archer tries to convince the Xindi warp designer Degra, good one, Sean, that humanity is not his enemy. Trip tries to come to terms with his sister's death. T'Pol confronts her substance addiction. Oh, Crackhead T'Pol episodes get watched. E2, while on their way to the Xindi Council, Archer.
Oh, that's
and
a good
crew
one.
In
This
Enterprise
is the one where they
ship
existed, but they
in the
never
future.
existed. This is a
Yeah,
ripoff.
it's
of
kinda
Oh!
Design.
one.
It has the kind of, they have the mashup ship that has alien tech built onto it.
Yeah, it's a
And Archer's
generational
an-
ship. Yeah.
Archer's a drooling moron, and T'Pol takes care of him because he
Yep.
saved them all.
Yep.
He got his brain ruined
No,
in a
no, no,
radiation
no.
leak. Or
No,
something.
that's Twilight. This one is with the duplicate Enterprise.
Yeah, where it's there's a the captain is a half Vulcan or quarter Vulcan or something.
Trip's kid.
Trip,
Yeah.
yeah, it's Trip and T'Pol. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. It's a little time travel-y, but it's a
Okay,
good
so
episode.
then we have the Council. T'Pol and Reed lead a team on a mission to obtain information about the network of spheres inhabiting the expanse. Archer and Hoshi stand before the Xindi. Nah.
I hate that one.
Countdown. Archer and his Xindi allies
that one,
launch a
too.
full 0 hour. Archer puts his life in a one in a risky gambit to intercept the super
Nope.
weapon.
Nope.
Wow. So this season, the episodes we're watching are. So what do we do? The Xindi was a yay, right? Anomaly was a nay. Extinction was a nay.
No,
Rajin.
it was Extinction.
Extinction's
Yeah,
a watch.
Extinction was a nay.
A nay.
Rajin
Yeah, Rajin was a not.
a
Was a
nay.
nay.
Impulse,
Was a yay. Exile was
Yay.
it had a lot of Hoshi. It was a yay.
So-
that's 4.
So yeah. So are you counting here? Are we counting how many
Yeah,
more
I'm just
episodes?
seeing how many more episodes that we validly think we'll do within reason here in season. How many weeks to finish season 3? Because season 4, I guess, is going to be kind of wild. I don't know. So Exile, The Shipment, a nay. Twilight was a nay, right?
That's the one where Archer keeps
Doesn't
going back in
remember
time
stuff.
with the temporal brain bugs.
Right. Then North Star, thousands of humans living on a planet that resembles the Old West. We might go with that one.
No. It might be a
Similitude.
Yellowstone episode.
Cloning Trip, Similitude. I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
No.
Carpenter Street, we have to kill Silic. I guess that one's justified. So that's like now only 6. Chosen Realm, crew of religious extremists who seize the ship and use the Enterprise as a weapon against their enemies. No, I can live without it. Proving Ground, Shran, yes. So that's 7. Stratagem, the crew creates a ruse, finds any super weapon. Did we say yes to that one?
Yep.
So that's 8 out of 14. Harbinger, feuding between Lieutenant Reed and the Mako leader disrupts Archer and Fox's investigation of a rescued alien. Yes or no?
Oh,
You
yeah,
didn't
that's
ask
fine.
about that one.
Well, you do
So
it.
yay. That's 9 out of 15. Doctor's Orders, no. Hatchery,
No.
no.
Nope.
Amazon Prime, Archer
No.
sacrifices himself
No.
and destroys his indie weapon. No. So we're still at 8, and it's 18. So now we got on the high side. Damage, Archer sacrifices his ethics. I want to watch that one. I like that one. So that's 9. The Forgotten, Archer attempts
No.
to convince it. No. E Squared, the Zindi Council. No. The Council. No. The Countdown, Archer finds his ally, Archer and his Zindi allies launch an assault. No. 0 Hour. No. So wow, only 9 of 26 episodes for season 3. Or
Wow.
24. Oh,
24.
they cut down their episode count by 2. Thank
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
A lot of these are bad. 9. So that will bring us. We'll be starting season 4 in like August. Can we get August, September, October? I don't know if we could if we go like crazy with the combined stories, we
Well,
might
our
be able to start.
says that the hatchery is great fun.
I do seem to have good memories
You
of
guys
the
have a
hatchery.
say. You guys have a say. If
Yeah,
we get to an episode and you want to start campaigning for the next one, if you start looking at the community tab, we could use that to effectively vote on every episode if people want to show up. If it becomes so low that it's arbitrary, I don't want to do it. But I don't want to blow up the community tab either, because you can only turn on the light on your channel so many times in a day. We're skipping the finale. Archer has a fist fight with the reptilian leader and wins by attaching a bomb to him. He then blows up the Death Star and gets sent back in time. How can I miss that? We're going to do it in a conversation?
Yeah. Yeah.
We will still be open for debate as we go forward with these. We're not going to be doctrinal. We've never been dogmatic. We don't want to be. Silic doesn't die until season 4, episode 3. Thank you, RRTNZ, for the generous $2 New Zealand super chat. We thank you. I didn't know that. I thought, okay, so if we don't kill Silic, we can just skip that episode. And then we can give RRTNZ the episode he wants and not change the count. Yay! You get what you want. You've made your case, sir.
Yeah. Exactly.
It
A
should be
forgettable
pointed out
episode.
that more importantly to discussion, Admiral Teak is open to bribery. If you want to
That's
see
true,
an
yes.
episode, you know what to do.
It's
He is
like,
very Ferengi in that way.
it's like, all right, Spock. Whatever game
I
it
have
is you're playing,
season
I'll play
4.
it.
Season
You want
4
money? You want
has some
credits?
must-watches.
Is
How
it
about
women you want, Spock?
Was it women? How about you have your own ship? I can swing that too.
Season 4 has some watches, some must-watches in here.
Season 4 does. I think it. We maybe do we really want to do we maybe want to bite the bullet and do like multi-episode nights where we just like clear like 4 off the table in a row, because like that's an option now. We
Well,
could maybe start early or some shit like that. I don't know. Like we don't all have to be here the whole time. That's my favorite
Stormfront
publication.
is probably
Yeah.
you're
I read that all the
okay.
time.
You're thinking
Like,
of something else, but I'm not.
I'm
gonna say
okay
it on
if
your
it's a
stream.
multi-part episode to do them to do them all. Yeah.
Because I don't. What's the farthest we go? 3?
Yeah.
Is there?
With the,
Yeah, so we can handle 3. I think it's stretching it, but we can handle it.
Well, we got that's the one with Sung, right?
That is the augments is 3.
Borderland Cold Station and the augments is 3.
The thing is, if we do all the augments one together, if we just segregate out all the augment ones, because there's another augment story too in there somewhere. There's an isolated augment story as well, and an isolated Soong story. There's an origin story for Soong too.
Yeah.
Right.
He might be making augments right away. I don't remember. The thing is, to do the original series right, the last thing we want to do is crash into it as we get to this time next year and YouTube engagement drops off the face of the earth. The time to do it is as the holidays approach.
Yes.
So the thing is, with the amount of TOS and the fact that it's all real good, the Enterprise in Reserve, I mean, if we're just going on all 8 cylinders and every once in a while we go back to one of the quality Enterprise episodes, I don't know that people will rebel too strongly against that, especially if we kind of make it clear. And like, there is a community tab for that. It might be Enterprise until October, and we'll see where we are.
Well, how many weeks until October? We got 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's like 20 weeks until October, roughly.
5, 6, 7, 8.
We have 9 episodes in season 2, roughly. And next week, boy, are we going to be brutal. These episodes we don't watch, we're taking them out back, phasing them right in the head.
It's like 30 weeks until October.
Oh, we'll be great. Well, these 9, and then it's 22. That means that, like, if we do every single episode of season 4, we still will have weeks or 2 before Thanksgiving. So there's 30 weeks plus the weeks of Thanksgiving. Like, November is optimal to start, but we could start at the end of November.
I'd like to start in November. That sounds like I like that idea. I like the idea. What's the first weekend in November? Is November 1st would be the first Saturday in November is the 1st. That would be great.
And that's the Man Trap, November 1st. Write it on your calendars, ladies and gentlemen.
Shoot. Halloween's on Friday this year.
Yeah.
Nice. Yes. Oh man,
Wow,
it's gonna be
we'll
nuts.
start out with the Man Trap.
It's gonna be nuts here. We probably had 300-400 people come last year. And our neighborhood.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I've got a
mine.
video of it. Like you can hear like it's a crowd of people.
I might go to the Manhattan so I could go to the the Halloween parade in Greenwich Village. It's really, really cool. There's people who spend all year creating the puppets. That's their whole industry. They're so fucking cool. They're Day of the Dead style. They're all based on like New Orleans style puppets. Some of them are like 15, 18 feet
neat.
tall. Yeah, like it takes like people to move them. Like it's really like it's a super cool parade. And it's New York City Gang Initiation Day, so that's I got that going for me. So it's always wild here too. Mark Harkness says November is perfect for TOS. Charlie X was supposed to happen near Thanksgiving. That's right.
That's true. Yeah.
We put rations in the oven and it turned into turkeys. Real turkeys.
And you know what?
Captain.
I just realized why I think November sounds good, because November is always a cozy month for me. Like it's a happy time. You got the holidays are coming. It's like a cozy, you start putting on the jackets and stuff, and you get nice and warm. Well, a perfect month to do some heartwarming TOS.
And I know I
like
have
that.
my black leather jacket that I can wear. That I start wearing in
Yeah.
November. It makes me feel pretty badass.
And
I
then
can sit here.
a couple weeks later, Admiral Teague's heat goes out.
That, but it stays out until about now.
Yeah.
It came back on yesterday.
So okay, I'm looking at season 4. There is a Stormfront, which is a 2-parter. Are we going to watch that one?
Yes.
Okay, that's a 2-parter.
Well, yes, we have to because it has Yahtzees.
Okay, yeah, that's a good
that's
one.
what I
so
seem to remember them, and I think that's why it's called what it is.
that's a one night. So that's one night, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then the augments.
Well, home.
Can you imagine
skip.
after? Can you
Home
imagine
can
after?
skip.
Can you imagine after Stormfront and Patterns of Force? Like the commentary, it's like, I feel like Gil had the right idea, and if only they could have worked with him a little more. You know, he was right there knocking on the door, helping these Akoshians get ahead.
Wait, I have a quick question. The augments arc is a 3-episode arc, correct?
Yeah.
I
So
believe
is
their
that-
story is 3 episodes, but it might be independent.
Which one does
from
it
the
start with? The
introduction
Oz-
of
Starts
Doctor
with
Soon.
Borderland number 4. It's 4, 5, and 6. You
Okay,
can
so
skip
Borderland. Okay, you know what? Can I share my screen, Admiral? This is my. Okay.
I have to move us.
Yeah. So here's what I'm saying. So here's Stormfront, which is that's one night, 2, 3, and then wait. So Borderland is a augment story.
Borderland, Cold Station 12, and the Augments are the 3-story
Okay, so
arcs. You could
Now
skip
there,
home.
there is
3.
one.
Skip home because it's a single and it's stupid boring about Vulcan.
And welcome aboard,
Okay, so
everybody.
1,
If you're here, can you hit the like and follow?
2.
And by the way, Sean, whatever else we watch, since you kind of see him more often than me and know him a lot better than I do, I'm not afraid to DM this person because they are so approachable and so nice and have always been so nice to me. But you know what? I've heard Mexican Iron Man speak very highly of Enterprise a few times. Would you like to ask him if he'd like to come on and
I would
tell him that
definitely.
tell him the night he's on, it doesn't matter if we watched it or not, we'll watch his favorite episode. But
Okay.
tell him where we're
Yeah.
at. I mean, I
Yeah,
think it
I
seems
think
to me like he
he's-
likes the show in general, so maybe he'll
Sure.
be happy to go with because we have about half the show left to go.
Yeah. So
He's gonna be like Terra Prime. I suspect that Mexican Iron Man wants Terra Prime.
okay, so if we do all the multi-part
So
episodes in one sitting, so we got Stormfront is 1, then we're skip home, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Yes,
16,
West Kegel.
17.
James Taylor is always at the West Village, the Greenwich Village.
What are you
Halloween
counting
parade.
there, Sean?
I'm counting how many weeks season 4 would take us if we combine the multi-part.
Yeah, so
I
the
think we should
Forge,
keep some of them
Awakening, and
strategically
Kirshara-
too.
The Forge, Awakening, and Kirshara is the 3-episode arc about them basically fixing all their mistakes with the Vulcans, where he has the Katra.
Well, that's not
all of those
multi-part
3.
though. That's like an arc. So we could
Yeah.
skip a boring one.
I say skip all 3. I don't like it at all.
Guys,
Okay.
you got 19 votes. You have 1 more minute to vote in the poll right now. A at 42%, B at 47%, C and D, F at 5% each. Very representative and scientific here, guys. You really have feelings and passions about this particular episode. We chose the right one. Stigma would have generated like a C's all around, I think. And there's no need for us to watch. The biggest problem, honestly, beyond everything else, is one, it is very frustrating to watch them remaking the mistakes that did stop this show, like choosing poor story order. The story order this season has been batshit and bad, but the stories are good, but it fools us because we already have goodwill to the show. We can't retroactively think back. When I do the beginnings of the shows where we talk about what happened that week and stuff sometimes, like the date between shows, because sometimes 5 fucking weeks. What happened? NFL playoffs?
You're right.
The CW have the NFL playoffs? Do they have the NBA or something? The W? NBA? I have no clue what the hell happens where they have such big gaps.
They did almost exactly what NBC did to the original series, but
Yeah, if you could have written a book on how to beat Star Trek to death, the writer's mistakes are frustrating, but if the show had built up some goodwill And also, like, the breakdown between the fans and the writers is underway now. The writers are getting the feedback from the fans too late to adjust.
Yeah.
They're
So
reacting to
I'm-
it. They care, but they can't adjust in time.
Yeah, look at the viewership. This one.
Yeah.
So
and
I'm
look
countering-
how high it starts though. Look how high it
Yeah.
starts. That theme song, I keep saying it, guys. I hate to say this, but we destroyed Star Trek with one bad choice. The lyrical theme song fucking pissed people off.
Yeah.
And apparently episode 2 and 3 and 4 were really bad.
Yeah.
Just show
yeah.
killing. Look at them.
So-
And it starts to build back after that.
Yeah. Real quick, while it's in my brain. So, okay,
What
if
a
we get rid of those
disaster.
3 Vulcan ones, that's
Yep.
down to 14 weeks to get
Okay,
through.
then Daedalus.
We could save the
episode
Vulcan
10.
arc for breaks from TOS because remember,
Yeah.
we can't burn me out on the uploads. We want to have as many uploads as we can from this one, and we want quality uploads. We want to be at the top. This is a very crowded conversation. We are really good pundits now. I trust this panel implicitly, but we have to have stuff to keep the people. Like, I don't know if people would tolerate non-Star Trek. I don't know if people would tolerate, like, honestly, the Strange New Worlds thing is going to be an interesting way of. I don't know if we should do it up front and get out of the way and end with Star Trek, or do it at the end so people have a chance to run away from it. But a lot of our fans do have an interest in our opinions of that. So I don't feel too bad about it. Doing a second show for it, forget that. But I might run a watch party for people who don't want to watch it on the other place.
And then we can just review it on the Saturday, just like talk about it.
The first half hour, instead of talking about the price of gas that month and all the other things that put us in touch with the year the show came out, what we'll do is we'll say hi for a few minutes, then we'll do our half hour talk of Strange New Worlds, and we'll make sure not to curse too much, and we'll have that turned into our Strange New Worlds upload, and then we'll do our Enterprise show, and that one just really won't get an upload that week, and we'll concentrate on Strange New Worlds. Because the thing is, Strange New Worlds has the potential to shrink and destroy the fandom. Every new season of Strange New Worlds has been very, very bad for Star Trek in general. And I would hope that maybe even some editing help on this one, because Sean, this stuff is communism and it's really offensive, Strange New Worlds. The amount of communism is really, really, really fucking offensive.
That's why I've steered clear of it.
It's fucking commie shit.
We'll have to on the nights where we watch more than one episode. We'll have to not talk about SNW though. Those nights will get super long, especially if we're watching three episodes on a watch party.
What's weird is they don't have a time to show it yet, so we don't know what night it's going to drop. We could be a week late or do 2 SNWs a week later. I don't think it's topically hot. Also, if we got together independently and had our TOS discussion in the studio and recorded it and just dropped it in as an upload, it works for me too. You know what I mean? Like, if we can get together, any two of the 4 of us is fine.
Do it
probably.
like WDW Pro style, where he just records a panel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It could be like, even like some people, if like we could commit to a date, and then whoever makes it, and like maybe not everyone's always there every time, but as long as there's 2 of us, it would still work. I don't know, but we got 22 votes. It's scientifically viable. What grade do you give Ceasefire? 45% A, 45% B, and then 5% each for D and F. You have just a few more moments to vote before I want to get a snap poll going about what people think about how the panel is doing. And maybe we'll pull this in just over 3 hours. It looks like we've kind of done efficient work today.
Well,
You've done a man's job, sirs.
So we're almost done here with the planning. Daedalus episode 10 of season 4 is that transporter ghost thing. I don't know.
That was
if people
interesting, but
find
more
it
interesting than good.
Okay, we could skip. Observer Effect is a copy of that TNG episode where the the spirits take over the crew's bodies.
Yeah, like, I'm not that crazy about it, but I know it's like kind
Yeah.
of like it's a strange new life form and stuff, and it's very Star Trek in its nature. But we have seen that episode done a few times. We have found out that Enterprise can put an interesting new twist on it, but I don't know. Like, sometimes they do just drop the ball on that as well.
No, Sean, the next three, Babel 1, United, and the Anar, is the Andorian Romulan remote controlled drone.
Oh God, I never liked that one.
It's got
Guys, if we're gonna do Memorial Day weekend, would it be so insane to do maybe either Omega Glory because it's patriotic, or something
yeah.
other than Star Trek?
I like
It's
Omega
still
Glory.
Memorial Day weekend.
Well,
Omega
Omega
Glory
Glory's
works
in
once,
for season
right?
1 anyway, isn't it?
It's season 2, I think, but
Well, we may
It's
be
fun.
able to. You know what? Well, I would say let's wait.
it'll
for
make
Omega
a good
Glory.
commercial for the. The thing is, if we do a TOS episode, it'll make and make an upload of it. It'll make great. It'll make a great way to get attention to the coming TOS stuff. You know what I mean? If we have a couple, we have the Doomsday Machine thing that we can sort of dangle out there, and that entices a lot of people to the channel. So
Right.
just the strength of the TOS stuff we've done has been so high that it's just we're kicking our own ass by trying to save the reputation of Enterprise. Memorial Day weekend, I mean, I would do like an all out fucking war. I want to do Patton Memorial Day weekend. What do
Well,
you
we
think?
could do another show. I mean, that'd be fine too. If you wanted to do a Sunday night or something, or Memorial Day itself on the Monday on the actual day.
If anyone else is down for it, we should talk about this more. But how fun would it be for us to do Patton, and we could bring on people from both panels? Like we could mix both panels together because what do you call it? Radioactive and RRT, Radioactive and Krimlon have military experience.
Okay.
Krimlon was a tanker.
Oh, nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's see here. We're gonna finish
And also
up.
they've served a lot of hours as Helldivers. In fact, both of them qualify for Helldivers benefits and VA.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I want to know, what does my side get for winning the drug war? Do I get, like, is there a VA for Sicarios? The drone story arc has some great bonding between Trip and Reed, as well as the legendary sci-fi actor Brian Thompson as the Romulan commander. The Romulan drone was, again, more interesting than good. That would be another great, like, while we're going through all of these episodes of the original series, which is great, to have a few old Enterprise episodes in hand to use to give me a break when we're making, like we want to do I want to do a fulsome episode. Like, I want to do a fulsome upload on, like, Charlie X, you know what I mean? With some video to support
Right.
statements. I want to do a fulsome upload.
You also
I mean, we'll keep it
get
20 minutes,
in
though.
that the introduction of the assholes, the furry assholes,
Oh,
The Tribbles?
the Tellarites.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
I also I think that when we do TOS, because it's so great and because there's so much fulsome stuff going on that's so great, it wouldn't be so bad to have, say, a bunch of Enterprise episodes in hand. And also people might need to understand, like, stopping to discuss a little more might become important, because to really take the conversation where it needs to go with the original series, there will be times where we have to kind of have a corrective lore talk. Especially, we did do more Enterprise than anyone else. We won't do every episode, but we'll effectively finish it. We'll pay, like, good honor to the show. But overcoming the Enterprise image problem is the problem. When we are stronger and want to do, when we are strong, when we are strong, and we can do a little more to help people, appreciate it more, Enterprise will do just fine. The thing is, it's like overcoming the fact that, like, this show had so many different problems that did end up killing it. Like, to overcome all these different perceptions, it's like I'm trying to swat at bees with a shotgun. It's like everyone has a problem with this fucking show, and it's just like someone wants to come at you about the theme song. And it's like, it's legit. You never tell them they're wrong because they're right, to a degree. A lot of us like it, but, like, it's like, a lot of people like it, but it was an arrogant choice. It really didn't work. then people want to, maybe take a swipe at like Bakula. That one, I die a little on that hill, but like, you know what? Since the show didn't catch on, we gotta wonder. Even though I do think he was a great captain, I mean, we may have a distorted view of it ourselves, but I think we've rehabilitated a lot among our circle, because I think that a lot of people at first were scoffing at Enterprise, and we know a lot of people from the Quabi channel didn't want to go forward with Enterprise.
Yeah,
not like a majority, but a significant amount.
Yeah.
So,
well,
speaking of lore and things like that, the next two, it's like a two-parter. Affliction and Divergence is that story that tries to fix the look of Klingons between TOS
we can skip
and every
that
Star
fucking
Trek.
shit.
I love that two-parter. I think it's hilarious.
I thought it was tongue in cheek a little bit, and it was at least
enjoyable.
They were creative. They were very creative in trying to rectify that, and I give them kudos for that. They had to think about it, and they put a good story.
The motion passes, but you know what? Like,
and you know what? Bakula is very Kirk-like in that episode. Like I'm gonna, he's like very just, he sacrifices himself. He's willing to undertake the risk, and then
but then the rest of the episodes from here on out, we kind of all have to watch. 17 is Bound. That's the one with the Orion women.
Oh,
yeah.
We have to watch that. Yeah.
The next two are In a Mirror Darkly. This is
watch that. Well, that's a one night affair though.
The midriff, and the USS Defiant.
Yeah.
Just so much to love in that. The next two are Demons and Terra Prime. Terra Prime Forever. I didn't
Terra
hear
Prime
anyone else
Forever.
say it.
Terra Prime.
Thank you.
Colonel Green was a great man.
Exactly.
You guys liking these old school
pod.
entertainment I'm having on here?
And then
I
the
just
final
figure like
one,
we should have the video input. Why not?
the final one is These Are the Voyages, which
We're not going to watch that
okay,
shit.
good, because I detest Marina Sirtis. I don't want her anywhere near this.
Yeah,
So,
fuck her.
There's a lot of good in season
Wait, so we're
4.
not watching These Are the Voyages?
No. F that.
Really? There's some Shran in there, though. There's a really good Shran stuff.
Maybe what I could do is take the episode and supercut out Marina.
Yeah, RTN said I love Affliction.
I don't super hate it, These Are the Voyages either, because there are, like Sean said, like we have Shran, and like even though it's like not done well, like I do like hearing Captain Archer like give the speech, that the Starship Captain speech, and I do like the end when we let every single captain give the speech, and William Shatner's voice isn't distorted, although they keep him shortest because they want Picard to say, "Well, no one."
I think we have to watch it, though. Even as much as I'm the same way. Marina Sirtis can just bite it.
But she looks terrible for her age. If you want to like revel in that, like had like, yeah, she had a good time. She never missed a fucking a night out drinking. Look at her, she's a wreck. We'll Google how old she is. We'll see like what she did that year. We'll try to find out if she has any public records that year. It's like this year she got 62 parking tickets and was once cited for aggravated assault of a police officer for yelling and screaming at him for giving him that parking ticket, and she called him something that rhymes with a glue.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
No, but
She's
it's
mean.
like you have to. I mean, that's the last episode. We could hate on it. The whole trip thing at the end.
How about this? And then we watch Pegasus.
Oh, with
Why don't we watch part
with-
one? Why don't we
with
watch
the guy from
half of
Lost. with
Terry O'Quinn?
yeah.
Isn't that the episode that it's wrapped around from?
What the?
It happens in the middle.
Yes, that's right.
That's
yeah,
right.
he's
It happens
making
in the middle of
decision.
Pegasus about the metaphasic shields.
That's right.
And he looks 60 because he is 60, and he's like, I don't know, my hot young 35-year-old ingenue who also looks 67, and like Data's in it for a moment. We hear his voice. Well, you know what I wish they would have done was had instead of like, I know it's not canonically correct, but instead of like Marina Sirtis had got Dr. Pulaski back to be like, Riker, it's time for your sexual suppressant pills. You've missed it the last 3 times. You're having sex with everything on the ship, and it's like, damn it, the holodeck guy has got to keep his mouth shut. It's like, Riker, there's flooding the holodeck, and then there's really flooding the holodeck. Not my fault. I am not insane.
The crewmen are going to unionize, and they're going to refuse to clean up anymore.
I think, honestly, Gavin Blackburn is close. He's like, watch 1 and 2 of Pegasus, then watch These Are the Voyages, Act 3 of Pegasus, then Act 3 of Pegasus. Is there 3 episodes in Pegasus?
No, Act 3. He's saying like the third, the end of the...
I would say, wouldn't it make sense to watch Act 1, then These Are the Voyages, then Act 2, because that's how it happens chronologically within the episode. It's up between episode 1 and 2 while Riker's vacillating.
Hard to arrange.
Would drive people insane too. Yeah, we'll watch Pegasus later. We'll watch
maybe we can just maybe we can cut.
Too.
Maybe we could cut together one video.
Well, yeah, we can edit it together into one long file.
I might know someone who could send me the files to put this together.
Super cut it into one episode.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. Cut it in
and make it chronological. It starts with Archer's speech at the end of the episode.
Oh yeah,
fucking Pegasus starts.
Pegasus was a great episode.
Really was.
Here's a question: Are we gonna skip any TNG episodes like we're doing with Enterprise? Because there's a couple.
That's why I think if we don't make a clean jump into TOS at the end of October, if there's a bunch of episodes left over, it's like when we start getting like franchise-itis with like some of those like 5 in a row bottle episodes in seasons 1 and 2, maybe we could pop out an episode of Enterprise and it'll seem even better.
Could we do Sub Rosa for Halloween?
No.
Hey, future Halloween.
Oh,
why not?
Oh, that's such.
We're doing Threshold on Halloween,
or we could do Masaka for Halloween because they're all wearing masks and pretending to be something else.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a.
What do we watch for Juneteenth?
Brent Spiner freaking shone in that one.
What do we watch for Juneteenth? Horizon.
We could.
Wait, is that going to be a Saturday?
We could rearrange it.
It doesn't fucking matter. We're doing a Juneteenth show to be dicks, okay?
Oh, that's the summer solstice. The 21st.
If you don't live in the U.S., Juneteenth is on June 19th.
We're gonna celebrate. That's also Admiral's birthday.
It commemorates. It commemorates George Floyd.
The 21st is Juneteenth.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Wait, I thought Juneteenth was the 14th.
No,
June
it's
21st is Juneteenth.
It's
yeah,
19th.
June 19th.
No.
June 21st is the solstice.
Yeah, that's Admiral's birthday.
That's my son's birthday.
Solstice, we should do
Really?
Yeah.
for the solstice.
June
We should do the
21st?
episode of
Yep.
TNG where Beverly
Dad,
Crusher tries
thank
to,
you.
where he tries to, or she rather tries to lead that Vulcan, Romulan, Ferengi, Klingon science thing with the metaphasic shielding.
Oh
And
God!
they fly into the sun. I think we
Yeah,
should do
yeah.
that one.
Yeah. Beverly Crusher comes up with sun shields.
Yes.
Give me a freaking
Yeah,
break.
you know what? Here's the thing. I do definitely think we should do every episode of TNG. It's so far off, but here's the reason why. Once we get into Deep Space Nine, it gets like Byzantine, and we're gonna need like Germ like every week to just be like the Deep Space Nine lore expert. Like if the technology exists by that time, whether he's alive or not, I want his consciousness uploaded into an AI so we can just ask it the Deep Space Nine questions.
That is going to be in like 10 years
He's
from
the
now,
only
too.
He's got it kind of memorized.
Yeah.
It's always kind of
No, I
shocking.
was just thinking of like
when
if
Germ
he's around or not. I mean, that's
Nine.
pretty dark.
I don't know.
Well, it is
I
like a
don't-
decade away.
I don't know if
mean,
it's
come
the
on,
microphone.
it's like,
Yeah, it's like 12 years from now. I mean, who knows? Well, any of us will be here.
No,
I
yeah,
personally,
well, that's true.
personally, I think that we're going to be calling it, instead of the Gulf of America, it will have grown to the planet of America, and or Earthica, like in Futurama.
Earthica?
yeah.
Earthica, remember the president of Earthica and Earthicans? It is I, your President McNeil. The Treaty of Algernon is the dumbest plot convenience of all Star Trek. Oh no, we don't want to develop incredibly helpful stealth tech, but everyone else can. I call BS on that. I think the deal was the justification for it, and you guys tell me what you think. The Federation was so confident in their shielding and was so far ahead that they did it, and then like corporate espionage by the Romulans leveled the playing field.
Makes sense.
I think that they just thought that they'd be able to reliably detect stealth, so it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, yeah, that
was
treaty.
really the
Production.
thing.
Yeah. Circle
Please
code of
don't
honor.
skip
Oh.
Code of Honor.
Oh god, that's one of the worst ones.
No, we're not skipping Code of Honor because Patrick Stewart because that's one of the top episodes Patrick Stewart regrets.
Oh really?
Yeah, so because Patrick Stewart hates Code of Honor, we are absolutely doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
He said it
Buddy
was
Hepburn brings up
absolutely
a good point here.
dystophobic.
Buddy
Yes.
brings up a great point. Gingers know
Gingers.
the sun is a major threat. That's why she came up with sun shields.
My father had red hair. Well, you have red hair too, so it's fair.
Oh, my wife
But,
does. Yeah.
Yeah, JT, I don't know if you had heard, but yeah, Admiral Tegan, my son, shared the birthday.
Oh,
Isn't that
nice.
crazy? And it's the same
Yeah.
year too.
Yeah, oh yeah. 1998. I'm 20
I'm 27
I'm 25
old.
years older than you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, your son's exactly half my age. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it was cool
only
because
lasts for a year.
on the day that he was born, it was also Father's Day, which was really cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
actually what I regret is I went out and partied and celebrated my birthday every year on Father's Day, and so now that my father's gone, I think like only about half of the Father's Days that I spent with him, and most of them were before I was like 21. After that, forget it. My birthday weekend, I'd come crawling home on Monday, looking like something the cat dragged in. So I would change that going back. I would have gone out on is it Flag Day? There's an L in there, right? It's Flag Day. Yeah, Flag
yes.
Day. Flag Day. Yeah, I should have. I wish I had celebrated my birthday on Flag Day and hung out with my dad on Father's Day.
Hey, Flag Day is a good day we could watch the Omega Glory too.
Flag Day is a great day for it. That's June 14th. We could watch the Omega Glory on that one, or something with Mr. Pride Brother. Because he's got his own flag, but it's the American flag. I like it.
It's his flag. It's the rainbow one.
It is. We're going to be the only channel that has a rainbow flag emoji. If we get to 100 members, we add the Mr. Pride Weather rainbow flag. Like, people join the channel and they're like, what the fuck? It's like, I think I accidentally joined a woke
We're
channel.
just huge fans of Skittles. That's all. Taste
And-
the rainbow.
You got to taste the rainbow. George Takei certainly tasted the rainbow.
Oh gosh, there was.
Ah,
another episode for an
RTN Zed's right
occasion
there.
now, and I'm trying to.
Wait,
Oh,
RTN
boy.
Zed's right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Do code of oh god, yeah.
Ah!
Your channel's
Wait, the
gonna
next
violate the YouTube terms. of
Wait, hold
service,
on. The
like,
next
right
week
there.
is the Battle of the Little Bighorn anniversary. After Omega Glory, do we then do Paradise Syndrome? I'm Kirok! In celebration of the Battle of Little Bighorn, I am Kirok!
Oh god.
We should know what we should do for Father's Day is that stupid TNG episode where Picard's
Riker
like,
and his father
I'm,
fight.
I'm a role model, and then he has to like pretend to know how to tell kids what to do in that emergency situation.
Whenever I hang out with children, I treat them like little military adults. I shall call you number one.
But Captain, I already went number one.
Shut the fuck up. I liked him better when he didn't like children, but then at the end of like Encounter at Farpoint, he's like, Wesley, why don't you take control of our new family ATV cruiser? Fuck, Picard. It's like, did I tell you that your mother was quite grief-stricken when I told her about Jack? We had quite the snogging that night. Of course.
Jeez.
I had several months to get used to the news. I didn't think that she had only just heard. Well, yes, it was my job to inform her, but I mean, a starship captain, I'm responsible for 400 lives. If Jack had just been careful, he'd be alive today. That's what I told Wesley. I don't know why he hates me. If a man cared about his family, he would have paid attention when he got into that warp field. Or whatever. I don't know, when Jack Crusher dies.
How did
You know,
Old.
I don't know if we ever find out how Jack Crusher dies. He dies of embarrassment when he got shot.
He got shot on a mission Picard was commanding.
I just thought he went out to the starbase for a pack of cigarettes and never came back.
No, that's what Beverly likes to tell people because she is embarrassed.
He came home and his wife had like a huge bong out and she's just like bubbling away. And he's like, honey, we have to talk. And she's like, leave me alone. I see these talking puppets everywhere. And he's like, what the hell? And she's like, they're going to take Manhattan, And he's like, you're a raving stoned maniac. And he just like stormed out. The end of that relationship. Like, go have sex with your ghost, you weird bitch.
Nice.
Oh God!
You think the ghost ever like jumped Jack too? It's like, it's like Beverly. Well, we were being intimate last night. I didn't think you'd put your finger there. It's like, what, Jack? What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean? What do I mean? It's like, turns out you're not Wesley's father. He's the child of a ghost.
Wow.
That's why his personality died so young. What is with Will Wheaton? God, he's horrible. Welcome, everybody who's here. Do me a favor. I would love to... Did we make it? I don't know. Let me see if we made it. There's a certain amount of likes that make me very, very happy. And if we get them, I always like to say we have good numbers. We are at 25 likes.
Oh, 25. So
Yes,
there are
because
more
I
likes
decided
than
to
people
like my
watching.
own stream. I like myself.
That's okay.
I like
That's
me.
allowed.
I think I am a capital and fantastic guy. Listen, if you're coming through later, please give it a like. If you enjoyed the conversation, give it a like. I think that we had a fun time sort of divvying up the future. You got to be here a little bit for our planning. We're going to bring you the most exciting Star Trek we can. And like, I guess the one thing I would ask you guys is, what happens if Strange New Worlds drops on Saturday at midnight when we're kind of on anyway? Do we turn it on and just rip on it and just end the show
I'm okay with that.
We
I mean, if
do,
I don't
but
have
we
to get up
kind of
early or
okay
something.
with
We
that.
also have to rip out our barrel-proof bourbon. And, don't water it down.
Some of these Star Trek episodes from Enterprise that we don't want to watch, that we can watch later during Star Trek TOS if we haven't actually watched them, if we only reviewed them before Strange New Worlds, to keep a good conversation going so people have good Star Trek. Listen, a lot of you guys have shown that you want to fight with us.
That's for the emoji. You got to put that in.
For one day.
Yeah.
Mr. Pride Weather.
I tried to find a picture of without his shirt on, but it's hard to find a non-fuzzy one.
It's so weird. Like all these flags have taken on like lives of their own in these different contexts, and like I, for one, only knew that the American flag with like the blue line on it was now considered officially still an American flag, and that like all services kind of have them. So you kind of, because I always just thought the flag itself is just so beautiful. Like don't do anything to it, but whatever. Some people like to put the blue line on whatever. That's fine too. But like this flag is like, it's not really my country's flag or anything like that. But I do understand that there was a period of time where it did have some meaning. So this one, like, I don't have a lot of problems with it, and we can have. And I also think that the people who are represented by that flag are a lot more fun and a lot more understanding than
What
are.
kind of fun? What kind
Well,
of fun are you
this-
talking here?
But they're a lot more fun than the people who are under the progress flag. That's what I wanted to say. And I
Are you
think that
talking
they,
the one
and
with
I
the little,
think they
the little
stand apart.
diagonal, the wedge on the side that,
Fuck
if
that
you put
flag.
4 of them together? Yeah, that one.
Fuck
No.
that flag.
This
That's
the
not
original
a
rainbow
flag that
one
means
is.
anything. I
is
have
just
a
fine.
modicum of respect. You know what I respect the most about that flag is that the people who say that that's their flag stand away from the progress flag, like looking the other way, holding their noses and absolutely shunning them. They seem to be their most vocal opponents. So I don't have a problem with the pride weather flag for one day. And if someone wants to like put one out in front of their house on like their pride day, but have fun. You know what's funny too is
My
your
kid has one, and I don't care.
You know what's funny is your son and I were born on June 21st. We were born on the birth of the gay pride movement. It's the Stonewall riot.
Is it
was
really?
June 21st. Yeah, because Judy Garland died that day, and they were all upset about it. So when the cops told them to disperse, they're like, "We're singing songs from Wizard of Oz, you bastards!" Well, what's funny is I think my father was there dressed as a cop. It's not as gay as it sounds. My father was a cop. I think my father was NYPD riot squad at that point. I think he was down there, like, helping them start their movement, so to speak. Somebody had to tell them to stop having a riot. They could have just had a sit-in. They had a riot. What can I tell you? I don't think Dad did anything wrong, but yeah, he might have been there. I don't know. I'll have to ask Mom.
Mm-hmm.
What's weird is my parents. I don't know what my parents were up to the night I was born because I never bought.
Well, we know what they were up to 9 months before that.
Not really, because my parents who raised me, they probably did have vigorous sex all through September, but I would hope so. But their anniversaries, I think, that month. But no, like you know what I mean. The adopted parents are the parents, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't
okay. You're
really,
talking
I
about
never asked my mom what they, so it's possible. I think it's a Saturday night. I think it was the first Saturday night without Star Trek, but we were born with the gay pride movement. So like it's Pride Day, and thank God Juneteenth is what, the 19th we found out. Thank God. Like my birthday needed another thing hung on it. So yeah. Maybe we will watch Horizon on.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Another thing hung on it? Come on. What are you saying?
Well, I mean, it's already
Admiral,
like
sir?
Stonewall Day.
Oh, okay.
So,
Interesting choice of words. That's all.
You know what I meant was that every Harry Potter book has come out on June 21st, except the ones that aren't any good.
Which is all of them?
Well,
I just
like
met a
the
lot
first
of
4 are
millennials
pretty good.
very unhappy with that statement.
Yeah, first 4 are still pretty good. But, as they say on Red Dwarf Gazpacho Soup, we have a great plan to get to the TOS pretty soon. And it's been a while since we have had a guest. I don't know. We'll have to start looking for that. Maybe Oldest Gamer is now got it together and wants to come back. Certainly, we'll reach out to him first and see who else wants to do. We have quite a party going on over on Rumble where there's like sometimes 12 and sometimes 9 people watching. It's going up and down. So that's a success. Welcome, Rumble. The YouTube, just fantastic stuff. And I don't know. I think we kind of said it all. We could go on this one. I saw Thunderbolts and Sean didn't, so I guess we could kick that discussion till after the end of next show. But I personally, I still am going to make a prediction right now. I say Strange New Worlds doesn't air.
Why?
Well, first of all, as the leader of the largest Star Trek watching community and the largest New Trek watching community, and you guys made me that, I have the right to make certain declarations. And what I've said is there's no one approving this Star Trek. And now that I've heard the Ellisons might be able to finish this sale in the next couple of weeks, they might just say, ho, 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 ho. We're going to take a look at this post-Section 31 hot garbage. Because what they just put out, like the Ellisons tried to buy this company. They know that Star Trek is one of the potentially brightest jewels in the Paramount crown. They've made money off Star Trek, even though it was Trek '09. They know that a less tarnished Star Trek will work. Maybe they'll listen to the fans. We've heard they don't want Kurtzman around. If he shows up, they might just say, F this. My goal is it either doesn't air because the company's sale is completed and they say, you know what, you don't have a release date, we don't have to give you one, because the release information we have is month of June. And that is from Public Hangout. Okay? That's not from Paramount, that's from Public Hangout. Paramount by now would have said June 15th, June 10th. They would have said Paramount is not that vague. The only publicity stunt Paramount has pulled in the 3 years I've had their service was putting the two final episodes of 1923 on the same night. And that might have been because it plain old had to be done or it would have failed. Because it was that debatable. But you can replicate smokes in the 24th century. Computer, give me 500 cigarettes. Bortus did that.
But imagine the space taxes on those things.
Oh my God! Yeah, you would be paying for an entire space SWAT team.
It's like a month of replicator rations, or a month.
Oh, I love you too, Gavin.
Holodeck time, something like that. You know,
Gavin, I absolutely love you too. You're the greatest. And I want to say, this is the first Star Trek stream of a new month. Let me say what I said during the week to all of the Star Trek fans and all of the fans of the weekday show.
NYPD coming through.
Yeah, it's the NYPD making their weekly cameo on my show. I'm right here, guys. You'll never take me alive. Anyway, from my cold, dead fingers, you will take my phaser. Hold on a second. There's someone near the door. All right. Thank you, guys. I want to thank the members of the community from the bottom of my heart. You guys are the most generous and most supportive community ever on the face of the earth. You got a membership video coming your way. Yellowstone. Guys, I'm drawing blanks and reading stuff on Reddit about how people wanted a different ending, and I'm just thinking that might be streaming in general. I don't know about a video for that one more than a testimonial about how I don't know what to make of it. I don't even know if it's a point in making a Yellowstone 7 video. It's like... kind of a concluded story. You're going to watch it or you're not based on what I've said about the first 7 episodes. Making episode 8's double part, or episode 7's double parter. I don't know about that one, but like rolling into summer, we've got Strange New Worlds coming, so I'm gathering up my strength. You know what? We're going to move forward, and about a month
is it scheduled though, Admiral? Is Strange New Worlds like slotted to start?
No, it has nothing. It has no date. It just says June.
But they filmed everything. Like it's all in the can.
They say, remember who we're dealing with here. I don't believe anything until I fucking see it.
That's true,
they say. I believe that if they get green lighted, that someone might be holding money back and they'll try to render something like in a week before it airs, and it'll be like, what the fuck's with this effect? And that's why it's like that. I'm serious. Right now, to get money for this, they are going to every single person who ever grabbed a fucking chick or Me Too'd someone in Hollywood, and they're like, you want to buy a very good person certificate? Because I'm convinced that's how you get off Me Too Island. It's just like, aren't you so-and-so who like Mario Cuomo, his secretary? And you're like, oh, that was a different time in my life. Look at these 3 episodes of Strange New Worlds I produced. I'm woke now. They're like, oh, I guess you're okay. You're woke. It's like, yup, sure do hate Orange Man. It's like, yeah, we'll work with you. I honestly think that's how you buy your way off Me Too Island, is being a producer on Strange New Worlds, because there's like 23 of them. And some of them overlap with the Disney Marvel people. Like Brad Winstead seems to be a producer on both. If we start cross-examining the producers from Marvel, Disney, Star Wars, and Star Trek, we're going to start to see a lot of incestuousness. I'm being honest. We're going to see a lot of it. And by the way, I do not want to see Bart Giamatti in Star Trek Academy.
Oh, God. Wait, is he the
How
comedian?
upsetting is... No, Paul Giamatti is the son of... Paul Giamatti, sorry. Did you know he's son of Bart Giamatti, who you're thinking of? Exactly who you're thinking of? The commissioner of fucking baseball who kicked Pete Rose out of the game, Bart Giamatti, is Paul Giamatti's freaking father.
No, I I was completely off. I was thinking of Sebastian Maniscalco.
Oh,
Maniscalco.
Did you know that about Giamatti, guys?
No, nuh-uh.
Isn't that shocking? That's why I want to make a Pete Rose movie right now, starring him as his own father. He was like the right age to do it, but who would play Pete Rose? That and Bart Giamatti was like 7 feet tall. But still, I'm telling you, if he can play John Hancock, he can play that. Jack Crusher died of being henpecked to deletion by Beverly's constant nagging.
I just started
She's
noticing
stoned,
this, like,
JT.
100% true.
She was high. Killed by orc arrows, protecting Marion Pippin RTX. And Patrick Stewart's there, like, you know, he takes his phaser wide beam and just like burns down all the Uruk-hai. He's just like, Jack, are you all right? It's like, I will follow you anywhere, my captain. It's like, it's not necessary. I'm still lieutenant commander, but I'm sure that's leading this very punitive away mission should advance my career quite nicely. Thank you, Jack. I'll go back to the as captain from this mission. Jack Crusher was killed in the Death Star trench as he approached the thermal exhaust port when Darth Vader shot him down. I've got one for you. Jack Crusher was killed during the events of the show Kenobi when he and Wade were in a ship together that attacked the Imperial ship. He was with Wade, and him and Wade died together. Remember that? Like, people were like, this show has no dramatic weight. These characters all, and they're like, you forget that Wade died, and they're like, wait, who? And they're like, guy number 3. It's like, you don't care at all. You're not paying attention. Let's find out a little more about Jack. Jack Crusher was killed when Maverick couldn't pull out of a flat spin, and he ejected and struck the canopy.
Oh, shit. That's true.
Ooh.
Wow.
Goosed it. Ooh.
Yeah, I got one.
The goose is loose. You know what? You get to read the last one, JT. How did Jack Crusher die?
Jack Crusher died when... you still have it up there. There we go. Jack
I have
Crusher
it, yeah.
died because he stayed behind on the asteroid to detonate the bomb and save the Earth. Which is what? Which one of those? Armageddon? Was it Armageddon that did that?
Yeah. And by the way, guys, if you want to see a movie this week rather than seeing Thunderbolts, you know what I recommend that I saw in the high seas? I really enjoyed Accountant 2. And John Barenthal is in it just as much as Ben Affleck, which saves it from being too much of an Affleck movie. And Affleck plays a tismatic retard, right? So it's kind of like, oh, he's being himself.
Okay.
It's real. Yeah, no, he's enjoyable. And this is like how he should have been as Batman. He's effective disguise, but he's also very deadly and kills people a lot. Jack Crusher was killed when he put on the Infinity Gauntlet and said, I am Iron Man, and snapped his fingers to wipe out Thanos. That, ever since that movie, the MCU has just been, what's their high point since that moment? Has there ever been such a sharp end to everything? Mm-mm. Jack Crusher was killed by global warming because he didn't vote the way Marina Sirtis wanted him to. That's right. You know what? I would point out, though, that his senator sent his regrets from Mexico about it. He was in Cancun.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You know what? Like I was talking about it with someone else, and Doomcock jumped into it's like 3 years ago now. Doomcock jumped into the conversation, and he's like, Texas Ted can go fuck himself, or something like that. Yeah, nothing good to say about Marina Sirtis. He didn't take it too far. Like, he was a gentleman about it, but he did say she was a real, like, asshole. He didn't do anything to me. Like, Doomcock knows exactly how to apply the but you know what? I didn't expect him to tell you he was pissed off. He does not like what she said. And you know what? No one did. Did she have a right to say it? People have fought and died for her freedom of speech, and I understand she's an American citizen now, but you know what? Bitch, shut the fuck up about that.
We
I
can always
can tell her to get
alter
done.
that,
People have fought for our freedom of speech and tell her, bitch, shut the fuck up.
Exactly, yeah. I have
People
no problem
did
with
die. You're not supposed to spike the football when people die. I mean, if you want to make some World War I jokes right now, we'll let it go because it's been long enough. The too soon factor is worn off. But in general,
and apparently she doesn't
too.
realize that the city of Austin is basically the San Francisco
Really
of the
liberal.
Midwest. It's
Apparently very liberal. I've been to
oh
Austin a
god,
couple of
dude,
times.
it's San Francisco without the poop.
Yeah. Wow, really?
Yeah.
By the way, RRTNZ says Accountant 2 is good fun. Apparently, TBI can turn a cleaning lady into a ninja assassin, and there's an autistic X-Man who helps Affleck hack the universe. But he and Barenthal are great fun. Oh, is this a high quality story, The Accountant 2? No, but it's kind of cool. They do the right thing. They're out there protecting people. They have their milieu of super kids. It's kind of cool and fun and weird. It's just long enough. It's self-aware. Barenthal is a lot more fun and a lot more amusing than Affleck. He's funny. He's actually funny. And as far as the TBI turning the cleaning lady into an assassin, I Googled it. That thing that Ira says up front, who's played by J.K. Simmons, he says, have you ever heard of acquired savant syndrome? So I Googled it, and actually being assaulted and getting hit in the head, both are triggers for acquired savant syndrome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's been people who've been damaged, and then they suddenly can play the piano.
Right. They can't suddenly play it. What happens is they get damaged. They sit down at the piano. They're naturally musical. And then about 24 hours of fucking around later, they're almost mastery level.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like if I throw you a guitar, you still have to learn it, but you're learning your IQ for it. It's
it's super
now
fast,
190.
Yeah. And there's people that have become, they could speak 12 languages suddenly.
Languages come up more. Well, you're learning it in a day. And with no limit on how many you could learn has happened. It's extremely rare. But yeah, that's what turns the cleaning lady into she's also running some kind of international plan. I didn't pay the most attention. In 99.9 cases, the TBI turns you into a human wreck or a corpse.
Yeah.
Or in the case of O.J. Simpson, 2 other people before it gets him.
Have you guys seen the movie Phenomenon?
Too soon?
With
Too soon.
with John Travolta. Have you guys seen that?
No.
Oh, that's a good movie. It's a good. It's a similar thing. He has a brain tumor, but it sparks his brain to where he can just learn languages, and he has kind of telekinesis kind of stuff, and he's super smart suddenly. Really good movie. Forrest Whitaker's in it.
It's not a
So the question is, what on June 21st? What episode do we watch for Admiral's birthday?
I
It's
thought
got to
there
be
was
Patterns
of Force.
Patterns of Force, right? It's got to be Patterns of Force.
Well, you've had so many people accuse you of so many things over the years.
No, here's the
have
question.
fun with that.
If we're gonna do TOS episodes before we get to TOS, do we
They don't
watch
count.
the episode later?
Yes.
We'll still watch it or do we say, we watched that last year?
Yes, because we'll use the old ratings. We'll try out your rating system, and then plus if I make uploads of those will get a lot of views and start building the channel for the TOS views.
And you know what I'll do? Because I made that cool spreadsheet. I really like it. I think it really works. I will make that available to all the chat and everybody. We can pin that as a link to my Google Drive.
Share a document or something of some kind. Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
And we'll get a WordPress site where you can buy your Admiral Teague merchandise. We have Admiral Teague at the Admiral Teague store. We have Admiral Teague and Admiral Teague accessories. You could have a 4-inch high Admiral Teague figurine. He's fully posable. He's compatible with the Star Wars characters. But his hand is
When
out
you said,
to.
You can have a 4-inch Admiral Teague. I was like, dude, come on.
No, I'm not that Irish. No, the 4-inch posable Admiral Teague figure has one hand out with his palm open, so he can slap Admiral Holdo like a real Italian with an open hand, showing class when he slaps her. Rather than with a closed fist, which would have been a little too much. I got a little too far in a few places, but yeah, no. Well, I think maybe it would be fun the weekend of 4th of July to just do Independence Day. It's such a fun movie. It's a poor man's Star Wars movie. I would like to once in a blue do non-Star Wars, a Star Trek with you guys and see what happens. But that might have to happen on another night. But still, I think we've kind of done it all. Sean, were you assigned to watch a movie this week? Is the best way to put it.
Oh yes. I forget what we're watching. Double Indemnity.
That's a good movie with Fred McMurray and what's her name from the Big Valley? Miss what's her name? She's hot. She's really hot. She's a lesbian, which makes her even hotter because you'll never get her. But Double Indemnity is a really good movie. You'll dig it. It's like your prototypical detective movie.
Oh,
It is the detective movie of all detective movies. It's in black and white, and it's him. It starts out with him walking in with a bullet in him, and he's like, "I figure I got like 20 minutes left. Here's my story." And he talks into a dictaphone. So we're getting what they find on. He puts it over his crotch and he starts speaking his whole story, and it records it perfectly because, of course, with his privilege, he speaks with his privilege, and as we all know, it took the thoughts right out of where all men think from. No, he's like he has a primitive freaking dictation machine, and he like puts it next to his head, and he's like turns it on, and he's just like, all right, yeah, she was, and it's like some of the stuff from Police Squad comes from this. It's like, she was hotter than Georgia Asphalt and all that kind of stuff. There's like all that kind of stuff in there and all the hyperbole. It's fun. You'll like it. It's a good movie.
Oh, cool.
And it's one of the classics. This is a film school required. Viewing.
Cool. Hey, I you mentioned the merch store. You know how a lot of these YouTubers now are making coffee. Like you got the Quartering does coffee, Nerdrotic doing coffee.
We do Ractagina.
No, forget that. Come and enjoy Admiral Teague.
Oh.
Earl Grey.
Really
Hot.
Earl Grey. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's really
it's
Grey.
Admiral Teague.
I like that. Yes, I endorse Admiral Teague. It's spelled really weird. What's with that M?
You also have chamomile because
It's
sometimes
because
Paul
it's
is
an AI.
indulgent.
Yeah, no, it's how AI does when you. Tell
That's
it to
great.
spell words.
I thought so. That's great spelling for AI though.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's getting better. But you know what? This is like one of this is almost what I had in my mind when I said
Very close.
I told Grok to generate Admiral Teague.
That's great.
That'd be a great. Hey, do you know what? There you go. There's a teacup, like a coffee mug.
When I asked Grok, tell me about YouTuber Admiral Teague, it said that I was one of the most brilliant and unfairly prosecuted minds of my time, like along the lines of a Brahms or a Galileo or a Daystrom, with the greatness of someone like a Kodos.
Yeah. who was it? Sub Commander. Who's the guy on X? Sub Commander Tall.
Yes, I've had him on my show.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He had a interesting theory on that episode with Conscience of the King, and he sparked some really good discussions on Star Trek.
He is a great Star Trek Xer, and
Yeah.
let's see, 99.9% of. Oh yeah, we got that one. Except for the 0.01% that makes you the 46th president of the United States. It's Gary Mitchell syndrome. Had that for a long time. John Travolta becomes a super smart, but his tumor doesn't come from seeing an alien ship. Doesn't Data do a psych evaluation on him while he's playing TK with a pencil?
Yeah,
Oh,
Brent
Data's in it?
Spiner. Yeah, there's a great scene with Brent Spiner's like questioning him and like, how old would a man be if he's born in 1942? And he starts to stopwatch and he goes, "What city was he born in?" And then he goes, "How old? What time? What time of day?" And then it's a really cool scene.
That
Great
is
movie. It's a really good
sounds,
movie.
It's all right. I'll check that one out.
It
Anyway,
is.
so
it's a good John Travolta movie.
you were assigned to watch Double Indemnity for what show?
I would be for Pop Culture Breakdown on Wednesday
Okay.
on Overlord DVDs. Oh, and Doomcock relaunched his other channel today.
The Harvey thing?
Yeah, the Pop Culture KO, where he's going to start talking
It's
about
got a new
retro. Yeah, it's called Pop Culture KO, and he's going to be reviewing older movies and older shows, older games, and kind of the stuff that wouldn't normally fit on his regular channel.
I
Sounds cool.
understand I understand when you want to like try to get that analytic going your way. All right, so we'll see you there. Doomcock, up and coming YouTuber, we support him. Way to go, Doomcock. You know what? Maybe one day he'll be on our show. And I absolutely officially, right now, officially on behalf of all of us, invite Mexican Iron Man onto the show. Get on over here. We would love to have you. Your favorite episode, even if we watched it, you're invited. Sean will work out the details. And JT, what are you up to this week?
Let's see. Oh, gosh, it's already come up quickly. Wednesday, I will be on with Dave C. at 9 p.m. Eastern, covering the very last episode, or issue rather, of the original Black Panther.
Never know who you
Sans
might
Jack
see
Kirby.
on that show.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun last week on that show. We had a New York issue and New York City issue even. And so I said, what the hell? Let's talk to the great Admiral Teague, a resident New Yorker around these parts, and bring him on, see what he thinks of the depiction of
It sucked.
three different boroughs we got.
Yeah, we got the 3 different boroughs, and we defaced several different iconic landmarks.
Oh, it was a trash comic. They ripped Jack Kirby off of it and put on poor substitutes for that.
All I can say
And,
is it was not
it
the
was
worst thing I've seen done to the towers, that's for sure.
It was a hilarious time hanging out though and going through it. You know,
Bagging
we had a lot
on
of
it.
fun.
Yeah, we had a
Yeah.
great time.
Yeah.
It's like it's like the Strange New Worlds watch parties. Doesn't have to be the show doesn't have to be good. If it's dropping at midnight, we're just gonna put it on the Cosby and just blow it out and then be like, all right guys, see you later.
Yeah. So that's where I'll be Wednesday. More TBD. I'm in contract negotiations with a lot of other people. You know, they don't pay as well as Admiral Teague. So
That's
No,
right.
no,
I pay my
no.
panel 4
On those
times
shows,
with
you have to
comic
pay to
relief
go
before
on
we
there.
get some-
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So,
I
anyway.
I understand it costs $5,000 to go on Comic Relief Crusader. Just a rumor going on out there. That's what I've heard. Anyway, Germ, what's going on with you, my friend? Is he still away?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm mostly done for the week. Saturday, I will have another cartoon for Saturday morning cartoons. Gonna have to find something really high quality to make up for the other schlock that's been the last few times.
All right. Well, that's it. That brings us to the end of another one. We've gotten out of here with the without the attack of the bots. So I don't know how much I want to push my luck. Yeah, I don't know how much I want to push my luck on that one. Boy, do we have a shitload of people here tonight. Let me see if I can't do it in use the old ways and say goodbye to and thank you to RRTNZ, Radioactive, Buddy Hepburn. Thank you for keeping everything going. Sean is here and in the chat. We have JT here in the chat. Gavin Blackburn, my friend. Wes Cagle, my friend, who is sometimes a co-host here. We have so many of you out there, and it's been great. I'll go and check over on the Green Band next. Mark Harkness has been with us. It's been so great to have him here. Sci-Fi Sith Dan has been with us here. We have had Jedi Master 2022 Lost in Space. Hey, I'm sorry that I missed you. I totally missed that one. I was lost in a rabbit hole there. This happens. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's good to see you. And RRTNZ was here. I think I said that, but I'll say it again. Mark Harkness, Sci-Fi Sith Dan.
Miskatonic Madman was here.
Miskatonic Madman. Phantom Outsider.
Yeah.
What happens is I left my eyes open too long, and now my contact lenses are popping off the edges of my eyes.
I hate that.
Yeah, when you, and like then so it's all a blur. Miskatonic Madman, RRTNZ, Wes Cagle, I think I said, Mr. House Party 6 was here, Victor Fontaine was here, and founder of the piece over on Rumble. We have got
John the
Lemon
Beagle Dad.
Pie, John the Beagle Dad. Thank you. And I think we're close to the beginning. Oh no, check. We have even more. Crimon was it? Crimon was here. It was a great time. We're getting close to the numbers that really for a show this size we deserve to get. And I think I see something just happened there at the end of the chat. I will be there in a moment to check on that one. It looks like someone gets to be a lucky member of the Admiral Teague family on RRTNZ.
Yes, sir.
And I will thank you in a moment. Lombardi 1969. There are still the DJ Play Nice. We had so many people here tonight. It was an amazingly successful show. Radioactive was here. Crimon! John the Beagle Dad. I see Lombardi 1969 again. Almost at the top. And Dave C. And Tommy Green, a new member. Thank you so much for joining the channel, Tommy Green. Very much appreciated. That was done before the show started, so thank you very much for that. It's always nice to show up and see that. And John the Beagle Dad was here first, right after I pinned the chat. And it's good to see everybody. And then let's go right down to the bottom there. And RRTNZ gifted one Admiral Teague membership that went to, hey, I know that guy, Jim's Landscape LLC, #1 Commodore Productions, received a gift membership by RRTNZ. I always say to him, don't you ever fucking change your name to Admiral. Yeah, he's like, why won't you have me on my show? And I'm like, because Commodore is almost an admiral, and there's only room for one admiral on my show. Jim, I like Jim. He does Star Trek movies. He's great, and
we have to
the hats off. Congratulations, welcome.
We need a damn rematch after last week.
What do you need as far as what?
Trivia, Star Trek trivia.
Oh, trivia, yes.
You don't remember? You don't remember us going to like 9 rounds, and Vegas was like screaming at us because everybody was losing.
Sean, you have a question from the audience.
Oh, Radioactive. Oh, am I doing retro games tonight? No. I am exhausted tonight. I need to
catch up on your sleep from 4 months of streaming.
No,
seriously,
I was up. Huh?
Don't your post stream like when you wake up after a day of like especially when I have to do prep, watching TV, making notes, and all that other stuff to do a stream, and maybe even cut a little video for the beginning. After you stream, you're like, it's this like exultant feeling that you finally like done your thing, and like you talk to your friends for a few minutes because that's like it's always a ball, and then like when you're done, you're just like, ugh. And you crawl into bed like your soul's been sucked out of you. You feel like Black Widow in Infinity Wars.
I fall asleep so fast. But no,
and then
I
when
was
you wake up,
really
you're like
late.
dead for the first 5 minutes too.
Well, the thing is, yesterday, so I was listening to Friday Night Frolics, and I was working on a model, and afterwards, Tony just decided, like, hey, I'm going to have an after party, but he did it like a panel style. He just didn't do a show. It was just a panel. So I got up there anyway. It's like 4:45 my time. I finally went to bed, and I was extremely hungover today.
Tony and I were in someone's back room, and we just hung out there for like I don't know, like 2 hours the other night. So that was cool. As far as his channel back room, it's like I have not enough access to him personally that I don't like going there is fun, but sometimes it's so batshit. There's so many people, like it only take like an hour, and then I have to split. But we endorse that channel.
There was like maybe 5 people on the panel last night. It was pretty mellow, but we had a lot of fun. I laughs and stuff, but I looked at my bottle. I'm like, man, it's really empty now. So like those times where like you're just going along, all of a sudden you look at the bottle, you're like, holy crap, I had that much.
So here's what I'm playing.
So anyway, tomorrow I have a lot of yard work to do. So
all right,
I need to get some sleep.
There will be yard work. There'll be sleeping, and there will be more Star Trek next week, guys. If you're coming through later, leave a comment. If you're here now, if you hit that refresh button and then leave me a comment, that really helps me grow, and it gives me interactions, and I can react to you, and we can give gifts back and forth. And to Kyle Cullen, who comes through later, hats off to you. It's like Viagra on my manliness.
Yes.
And also, I thank all the people who joined today. 2,450 some odd people. I overheard JT and Germ and Sean talking before I came in onto the bridge, and JT and Sean were worrying about their own personal lives. And that's when Jerem came over and said, we have our lives to worry about, but do you ever think of Teague? He has his life and 2,450 others to think about.
He was just a young ensign. He was just a young ensign with fresh out of the academy with words like honor and dignity still ringing through my ear. So I picked up a phaser and I defended my captain. Or my admiral.
That's from Pegasus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
You know
It was
what?
pretty close.
They say there's never been a mutiny on a Starfleet ship. That's not quite true. Anyway,
Yeah.
You know what? We had one earlier tonight. That was great. The Politburo meeting, sir. We had a lot of fun with you guys. We love you all. We just shouted out everyone well and good nights. We love you all. No retro reels and games. And we'll see you next week where we will, I think these people have been fantastic. Am I crazy?
We had a great chat.
We did have a great chat. You guys are absolutely the best. We love you all. And remember, we need your love and power and your strength and your comments to keep powering us forward and to start to grow as we get ready to roll into the original series. We've had about a year now of working together as critics, and I've never felt more ready for a challenge, but we could fine tune it just a little more. And then, of course, we've got new Trek coming. I worked so hard on this. Look at the screen. Look at her. Look at the readouts. He's got his progress flag, progress bar. It's like, okay, I'm at full progress. I can take off now. And of course, this character turned out to be gay. I had no idea when I made it at the time. And then we got
you don't need much confirmation other than looking at him.
He's male, yeah. The best catch anybody had was Sean when figuring out that the creature from Is This Your Last Battlefield was truly a creature.
Oh God, yeah, that thing. This scene, oh God, I've forgotten about this.
By the way, over on Rumble, I do want to thank Victor Fontaine for his extreme generosity of $20. That's good hard American currency.
Oh,
thank
nice.
you very much for that. That's going to go a long way to keeping the channel running like a top. And you know what? The sci-fi CSI is too funny. What can I tell you? It's like, could you imagine if Bird of Prey was around to see some of this stuff?
Oh yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
God.
All hell.
What do you have to say? The reviews. And by the Bird, have you noticed he's live again? As far as his channel, I don't want to say that the wrong way. His channel is live again. I've been listening a little here and there. A lot of times it's fun. One time I listened, he was talking about death. I was like, this is fucked up. That was deeply weird. But for the most part, it's still really good. And there's a good 4 or 5 people listening to that all the time. There are live people who can't do that well.
Doesn't anyone see that this is wrong?
No, it's not wrong. He was that good of a content maker. He really was. And what happened? If you can't compete with Bird of Prey 5's archival channel, this is all I have to say about your channel.
She was attacked by what appears to be essentially a robot.
All right, everybody here in Sydney, sweetie. You know what everyone's up to, and here she is. Saving Star Trek is brought to you by the brilliance of Gene Roddenberry, the love of this panel, and the generosity of Star Trek fans like Tommy Green, Radioactive, Crimwan, RRTNZ, Wes Cagle, and Miskatonic Madman, among others. We love you all, and we will see you next time on Saving Star Trek. I'm your buddy, Admiral Teague. I'll see you out there.